TV. It's a cross-ideological space where we come together, talk about issues both political and cultural, from the silly to serious. Gang, we've got a show for you tonight. I don't think it'll be contentious as last night's content, but you never know. Okay, we'll find out. Today we're going to be talking about artificial intelligence, AI. We're going to talk about is it something that society should be embracing? What are some of the dangers here? Is it something we should fear, we should shun? There's a book written that I found very interesting called If Anyone Builds It, Everybody Dies. And I just thought that it would be interesting to have a discussion on what everyone thinks about the power and the dangers of AI. So I've gathered together a great team. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you all are too. KO Dave, nice to see you. Zephyr Hash, hello, hello, hello. And Magor, is that how you're saying your name? I'll try to incorporate that into the discussion as well. What I'm going to do now is going to give each of these lovely individuals a 1-minute opener, and they can tell us what they think, introduce themselves, all that. It's been requested by the audience that you also tell us the purpose or what you think the purpose of society is. So here we go. And I'm going to give it to Kitty first. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, ladies first. Wow. That's what you're doing it for. Anyway, so yeah, I based my thing on the question of, is AI something we should embrace in society? Will it make society better or worse? Okay. My thing is my opinion is AI's development is inevitable. That we should embrace it by using it wisely. It doesn't matter what we actually think here. It's gonna happen. It's already happened. So we're gonna have to just make do. Its effect on society will be good and bad. So we can point out, we can go on endless quests to say this is how it's going to affect us badly, this is how it's going to affect us well, and the net effect of it is yet to be seen. I think my main challenge to the panel is to try and make me step over the fence to one or the other, to think that it's all good or think that it's all bad, because yeah, the inevitability argument just makes me think it really doesn't matter. Talking about the society thing, the society question, the society is to get along, to go along, to like go along to get along, exactly, to keep to communicate and to collaborate, to continue existing. So AI can help us do that. Can and should.
Okay. Well, thank you for being here. Really excited to have you back. We'll get into it as we go. We're going to give the mic to Van All In. Go ahead, sir.
Hey, I'm Van All In, and I say we are seeing more and more of a growing concern that we need to face as a species, as a people, and a community. It's exacerbating and accelerating maladaptive behaviors in adults and minors, leading to a child suicide and an expected 814,000 that may be harmed due to it. Furthermore, it provides false answers that are seemingly true but provide little more than confirmation bias, possibly exacerbating social cohesive woes that we continuously complain about. And lastly, we are both losing and planning to lose jobs due to it, with the World Economic Forum's expecting 41% in the workforce worldwide, and at a minimum in the USA, a job loss of 5 million and 110,000. So I say, truly at the end of the day, what we need to do is have a societal or a legislative push to try and control what is the growing concern. Not just due to, hating clankers as Star Wars has properly taught, but what is most important is promulgating what is the next generation.
Okay, well, thank you for being here. We'll get into it as we go. Next up, we have first time guest on my show, Logix. Is that how you like to be called?
Yeah, just Logics. Yeah.
Okay, there you go, man.
All right. So pretty much I'm a straight to the point. Kitty said a lot of what I was going to say. Basically that, almost all industries they have innovation, and where something is lost, there's something to be gained at the same time. And with that being said, I think that once you just embrace and accept the fact that it's here and it's probably not going to go anywhere, we just need to, one, have regulation, and two, be able to adapt to it and adjust to it the way we need to, because ignoring it is either going to have you frustrated or just lost in the sauce of everything. And we'll get into that deeper. So yeah, I think if we embrace it, that we'll have a better hold on it. It shouldn't be politicized. It shouldn't be, an ideological thing. It's just something that we all should just embrace, just like we embrace the internet, and take a hold of it and just control it. That's it.
Well, thank you for being here. I hope you guys embrace the stream by liking it and subscribing, but we're going to give it first to Audacity. Go ahead.
My general thoughts on AI is that it can be a good tool. However, the way it's progressing right now and the resources that it needs to operate and the areas in which it's being operated have detrimental effects to a lot of things we take for granted in society. We're going to be seeing a loss of a lot of low-level jobs that could have been used for people to gain entry into a lot of workspaces, develop skills, and everything like that. I prefer it not go that way, but sadly the software itself, the platform itself, is just being operated by people that don't have everyday people's best intentions in mind. They want to get the product out there, they want to get in front of people, they want people to use it, and they want to make the buck before they stop and consider any of the ramifications for it. We're no longer in the age of exploration when it comes to technology, where the internet comes out and it's a great new thing and you can send a text message to someone across the world and communicate with someone. We have a lot of greedy factors involved in technology right now, and a lot of that needs to be curtailed, on top of all kinds of regulation needing to be adopted globally before this tool can be used for any good purpose.
Okay. Well, with that, I think that Kitty's question is kind of interesting to start. Do we think that AI is inevitable? Is that something we all can agree on, that this
Yeah.
is a state of play?
For sure.
Yes.
Absolutely, but its implementation needs to be better controlled.
Okay, we'll start
Yeah.
there. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's where I would want to start.
So, especially with some of the stuff I was reading, specifically by Goldman Sachs, they were talking about how the main reason for implementation would be a 15% save in labor cost due to, AI being utilized in their workforce. So in my mind, the best way to alleviate and incentivize businesses not to reduce their current workforce and potential workforce would be to have a 6% tax to incentivize businesses, of course, not to go down this pathway of actually utilizing this tool. Especially if we consider it like the internet, why don't we keep it more as a basis of research than as a, as a tool to do the work that we are too lazy to do.
And with that, we have open discussion. Go ahead, gang. Let's see what you think.
I get the lazy argument, but I also think it's a way to help some people not be lazy. For example, like Wick can probably attest to this too, because I have making thumbnails has been ever so fun now. Now that I have AI, I know that was one of the worst things for me as a content creator is trying to create thumbnails, and that's just one example. But of course, I think it offered a new lane of agency for a lot of people. You know, I know that an argument may be like, oh, now creative designers may have out of a job because now I can just go and make my thumbnails on my own without paying somebody. But I think it's like me, I'm not a person that has the ability to draw things. And I don't have the money to necessarily pay somebody either right now. But what I can do is tell this AI what's in my head and see it on screen. And I've never been so grateful to have something like that. It's somebody, like, if I could get somebody to design my room because I hate it, I would do that. Like AI, if I get AI to design my room, I would do it. But because I can't afford to pay somebody to do that for me, I'm not good at designing. So I think that it opens up an avenue for people to be creative in ways they weren't able to before. And I don't see that's necessarily bad. And it also, people that are creative designers and do art, they have a new tool to work with as well. So it kind of helps both parties, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, in my
Well, I was just gonna
please.
say, if you're
ahead.
using it for your own personal like memes, right? You're making memes with it. You're giving them the wick. That's great and everything like that. But it's a real issue when people start trying to monetize that thing or trying to find an avenue where revenue can be generated from using AI art or kind of scripts or technologies from that. It's half the work isn't done, and you'll have a subset of people that are looking to only consume human-generated, authentic things naturally. But one thing we do not have right now is a full disclosure of what is and isn't AI generated. But even worse so is that AI generation right now is operating on a lot of like IP theft. The way it aggressively consumes information to generate a result is a huge problem.
With when you're talking about job losses, yeah, the creative sphere is more the one where we talk a lot about, obviously, just as being on YouTube and all of that. But what AI is doing and what everybody's is selling in business now is AI is going to fix everything. Any AI business, your freaking fridge is going to now start integrating ChatGPT and things like that. That's happening. So what people are trying to do with their businesses is use AI to increase efficiency. And you guys are talking, as I'm understanding it, is yeah, people are going to lose their jobs. Actual people will say secretaries and things like that. They will end up losing their jobs. Therefore, we need to de-incentivize that so that we socially engineer that people can stay in their jobs. And we can secure these jobs. I think maybe I'm just a bit too cynical in that way that that's not good. They're going to find ways around it. Number one, and number two, the I suppose the pro argument is, well, then we develop going forward. Okay, we develop. We don't have phone operators as much as we did before. Essentially, I never even experienced phone operators. You guys have them in America. You don't have that anymore. We develop past it. When technological advancement happens, jobs will inevitably fall away, and that will create other types of jobs. This is the pro AI is, well, yeah, there'll be other jobs. You can be a prompt engineer and this, and it's the learn to code kind of crowd where it's like, okay, well, world has changed. Okay, skills need to change. This change has just been so rapid that I can understand you're wanting to regulate it. I just don't know how effective that's going to be in curbing the effects. Like in terms of just the way businesses are run. Like you're not even eliminating roles. You're just making roles change as well. You're going to change the amount of work people are doing, and your regulations are not going to change that as well. So. I don't know. I guess
I'm going to give Van a chance to answer it. I got an
So
opinion, but
I was just simply going to say that, Kitty, what you do say makes a lot of sense if you have the mindset that a lot of the replacements just going to be, writing for emails, or let's say helping
Mhm.
select stock options, or so on and so forth. But a lot of what we're seeing is a lot of the low skilled first time jobs that will be choking out what is a lot of the younger force that is coming into the workforce. But furthermore, the type of jobs, and it's why I have it on, where they are interim positions from I believe it's white collar to blue collar position, or forgive me, blue collar to white collar position. It is reducing what is people's, actual capability within the workforce, but as well, it will make a reduction within that workforce itself. So, like the clearest example, and this may be a little bit overly reductive, but something like McDonald's, where they have to have a workforce of 6 people to make, the storefront operate, where now with the implementation of AI to take the orders, they only now have to have 4 to make the storefront run, where it is saving them that, amount of labor cost. However, it is then ruining the capabilities for those who need it.
Who
Mhm.
needs?
Another
Oh, go ahead.
another caveat, under another point on that is that AI in terms of quality assurance, quality control right now is not all that good. So what we're ending up with is AI replacing a lot of processes, but it's not necessarily ensuring that the end result is made to a quality that is generally accepted. So you have these AI cashiers and stuff, and then you have people complaining that it's not taking their orders correctly or whatever. It's miscalculating things. There's a great video going around of this dude at the drive-through window, and his bill's like $1,500. Like, why is my bill $1,500? And the thing goes, "Oh, sorry, recalculating." It comes back and it turns into 15 grand. And it's like it's probably a fake video, but it is funny, right? But it is a general consensus amongst people that is the issue at hand here. Now, for the regulation of I understand that it's going to change jobs, and kind of what I just was talking about is that maybe
Mhm.
people go from actually processing data to quality control of data. But
Yes,
another
that's what I was
thing
going
we
to say.
could talk about is what industries are we going to heavily restrict AI from operating in? Would you want AI
Mhm.
flying your
That'll be
plane? Would you
across.
want AI diagnosing your cancer, and so on and so forth? That's
Uh,
where the conversation
yeah.
really needs to go.
I think you would really have to go granular. The whole thing of going above just AI, any AI role or any AI involvement, just here's the tax that you've got to put on it. I don't think that works. We would really have to go on quite a case by case, industry by industry, process by process basis to
Hmm.
see how it works. But yeah, that's what I was hoping hoping we would talk about is the human regulation. This is the pro AI again. There's lots of people out there that are so excited about AI. They
Tech
are also like, well,
bros.
it's fine. Yeah, they're like, oh well, it's fine, guys. We will just humans will go from being the doer to the checker. They check
Hmm.
that's not going that the quality assurance is that's what a human does, because a human has as much as the GPT and the this and the that has all of this context going into it. A human has way more,
Hmm.
and that can occur. So that could be that could be the way that we develop naturally without social engineering of taxes and things and de-incentivizing and things like that. It might
Yeah,
naturally just through a market
yeah.
process do it.
It was
But
my
yeah,
father's concern that because this was all coming out, and what I work in has to deal with a lot of information processing, and he's like, "Well, what's going to happen
mhm,
to your job?" And I was like, "Absolutely nothing, because AI doesn't have agency.
yes,
It cannot represent a company or sign off on anything legally right now. And if anybody's trying to pass off something AI generated as legal affirmation, any kind of document or contract or whatever, they're wrong for doing it, and they're probably going to get sued. Now, there was an article about airline in Canada or whatever had a contract generated by AI that had to be enforced. It had to be allowed when people were, using the contract to return tickets or whatever it was. I forget the whole article, but the interesting part of that is the only reason that's the case is because that contract that AI had generated had to go through someone's hands to get approved to be put out there. Terms and conditions had to get approved by a person first.
Okay, just
is
a
that maybe
couple.
is
Look,
Yeah.
just a couple
Sorry.
things real quick. $5 from Lives and Devs Walls to say AI is a reflection of the users. Its use cheats exams and as a surrogate partner or therapist rather than a learning tool indicates cultural sickness. And then $5 more from Testicle Johnson to say, question for the panel: how long until AI can trick me into thinking it loves me? Furthermore, how long until we integrate this into Japanese sex robots? And we've been talking a lot about the
Couple
economic
months.
concerns, and we can continue to do so. But at a certain point, I
Mm.
do want to talk about the societal concerns over AI and what it's doing
Yeah.
to us on a interpersonal level and on a cultural level. But continue with
Mm.
your lines of questioning for now.
I was going.
Go ahead.
If
Let's give it to Logics, and then let's give it to Van Allen. Go
That's
ahead.
I was gonna say in response to. I'm sorry. What, Audacity?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in response to what you said about the checking and stuff, just like in what Kitty said too, how instead of the doers we're the checkers. I think it also gives you another check. I guess AI has become like something you can reference to, and it's also another thing for you to cross reference. So like she said, like
Right.
instead of actually having to type up an entire contract, who knows how long those pages could be. If you were to have AI do that, somebody still has to read it. Like I don't think it would be wise for anybody to just, all right, here you go. But while it's typing it, like even if you're doing it as it goes, you can be checking things and changing it, and it gives you more time to do other things. So like it's not, I don't see that as necessarily taking away a job. It's just giving people room to do more and double check things. And I think it's, like I said, it's an extra layer of reference in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, in my position I am at right now, I am solo flying it. It would be nice to have a secondary because when you work in information security, cybersecurity, compliance, and regulatory body, it's nice to have someone to bounce ideas off of. I don't have that, and even though it could be a topic I'm 100% sure of, I might open Claude up to argue with it, to throw certain things about it, and then go through the process of correcting what it's saying to me because I know it's wrong about something, and reinforcing what I'm about to put pen on paper to get to put out there to update a policy or something like that. So it's it does have that benefit, but the way, to Van's point earlier, the JP Morgan Chase stuff, it's too rapid. It's being put out there. Hey, you could save a lot of money. I could use the AI to do it, right? But if I fully committed to using AI instead of hiring someone else, I've taken away a fairly well-paying job because of my own comfort. You're like, yeah, the AI is good enough. When reality is that if I had someone who was trained and educated, or even capable of document management, not only could I be employing someone, but I could also be working with someone that versus an AI is better at learning, adapting, giving genuine opinion on information, details, and stuff like that. And you miss a lot of that when you're just chatting with an LLM all day.
Well, in continuing this idea of the degree of reliability, something that's really on my mind is where do you truly think that it would be feasible to implement it without fears and worries that there will be a necessity for somebody to watch over this? Because my mind immediately turns to how it's not reliable when it comes to lawyers, how it made up that one fake Royler v. Nelson case, how even when it just comes to thousands years of old 1,000-year-old philosophy research, it changes a one line of what is Socrates on wisdom, and it completely misses what is the significance of the Socratic method. And furthermore, even when it comes to, and just because legality is my wanted forte, drafting of simple stuff as NDAs, something that anybody can grab from, Google, print, and then send to somebody to sign. The biggest issue is it once again makes a document that is not not able to be contractually held due to how it's written. And furthermore, going back to the utilization of AI, as Logix was saying, I have no issue when it comes to personal use. Now, when it comes to verify, always make sure to verify. But my only stipulation is if you were to utilize it for your YouTube, and it made, a revenue for it, we have a way to implement a tax upon your LLC. It would be as simple as that. One simple way to curtail what would be its utilization. And to get on the specifics of thumbnails, I've been using a bit of AI, but I've found paying somebody's a lot better. Like, the hand-drawn stuff is 1,000 times better.
Oh,
I
you got
hate
money.
it, but it is.
You
Nice.
No, I'm
That
poor.
must be
That's the
nice.
issue.
I wish I could though.
Yeah, but that's a
Like, for
contention
the
with its
amount-
current capability, not where AI is going. It could replace a whole ass person in the future. Its current capability right now is nonsense, but we don't know where that development could lead to the future.
I guess.
I guess that's what we. Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
no,
Vic.
go ahead, Kitty, please.
I guess that's what we should also try and define here. What are we talking about when we say AI as well? I suppose when you see a tweet, it's about like ChatGPT and Grok and Claude and all of those and the LLMs, essentially mostly that. We're not really talking about other kinds or other utilizations. The most popular and widespread um AI has been the LLM. It's like it's blown up. Everybody's using them, no matter what. People are, you were talking when you were talking about personal use. I was like, everybody in their job, no matter what their job is, they're using it. So
Is that
some
good
point
or
or
bad?
another, yeah.
Well, hold on. Let's stick on this. Is that a good thing or a bad thing or a neutral thing?
I think it's neutral.
bad.
So I can,
I think it's neutral.
without saying too much specifically about my company so I don't get into trouble, it actually has been somewhat of a downtrodden effect where we are now having to go above and beyond and seemingly try and fix what is something that is supposed to be easily third-party implementable and actually causing issue to the performance of files being, out sent, which is necessary on a federally mandated deadline.
Right. I will never ask AI. I will never ask these LLMs, and that is a distinction we have to make right now. It's not AI right now, but it will be eventually. But right now, these LLMs, I will never ask it to draft, configure, or framework any kind of thing I'm about to put in policy, production environment, test environments, anywhere in my professional life. I'll go ask it a question, bring it back. I'm not putting anything it takes to me anywhere without a massive degree of scrutiny, or primarily just not at all. Like I said, I use it as the rubber wall for my thoughts to just bounce off of and see what comes back and actually sticks. It is not. It is creating the companies that are introducing it are utilizing LLMs to increase productivity are finding that they have to spend a lot of time double checking a lot of people's work now, because a lot of people, they're supposed to be the checkers, but they're not checking.
They're not
so,
checking.
Yeah,
they're just like, this is what I'm supposed to do, so here it is now.
And they just throw it out.
But
They don't.
I
They
feel
do
like-
not utilize it.
I think that
Go
would
ahead,
still
Lottie.
fall onto the person regardless. Like, we know AI can make
Understood.
mistakes. People make mistakes too. It's not like we're infallible when we do these things, especially if it's something that's super long form. So I don't see how, if AI was to do something, if that's just being careless regardless. If you don't if you know that you're using it, whether you should or shouldn't, if you just hand it over, you're not doing your job regardless. The same way as if you typed up an entire contract or whatever it is you're doing, a business plan, anything, and you don't look at it again, that's on you. So I think it's the responsibility still comes down to who's ever doing what with the AI. You shouldn't just take it as just like people kind of like, oh, I typed this on Google, saw it, and just like, yeah, this is my proof. It's like, well, come on now.
No,
what was
yeah,
your due
but
diligence?
I'm gonna disagree. If a company allots for or provisions for its employee workforce the use of AI tools, but does not properly framework or outline how they're supposed to be used and what your responsibilities for using it are, it's the company's responsibility. And I can tell you, because of the massive surge and push to get these AI tools out there, is very likely the case. The reason they're having so much of this backlash, so much of this need for double checking and this failure rate for things being produced in house, is because they were not people. You've at the low level, you're expected to just answer the phone, create a ticket, answer the phone, create a ticket. You give them this tool, you don't train them on it. You just say it's there to help you out, figure out answers or whatever. and then you send them on their way. If that's the
It's
extent of their
being
training, they're gonna screw up, man. They're just gonna
being
fail.
abused, yeah.
And especially in my mind, because I don't know all of our ages, but I always just assume I'm the youngest. What I've been seeing a lot, especially when it comes outside of just the notion of implementation of AI, when it comes to training in field, is a lot of the notion that you already have pre-existing knowledge prior to entering that new sphere of, that new sector of the market. The biggest example in my mind is alone banking. So with especially the implementation of AI, there will become that over reliance upon it that will have a detrimental effect in the long run.
So for me, I'm looking for our disagreement in all of this, because I don't want us to agree too much. Don't worry.
Don't worry, I got some stuff. I will take care of
no,
it.
but
Go
I am.
ahead, please.
But I'm not necessarily completely in full disagreement with you that I can see, because I literally have a list of, because I've focused on the question on whether it'll be good or bad for society. Is it, I can list net positives. I can list net negatives. I can say, oh, this is going to end in the entire disaster of the human race. I can create a scenario like that. But and what I said was, well, what I tried to say, but I got nervous, was is that really how it affects us depends on how we go forward now, how we actually tackle these problems now, whether we land up dead from it or not.
To that
Wait,
end,
yeah.
and if I may kind of jump in
Be
a
the
little
moderator.
bit, right? Not just a moderator, but I have opinions as well, right? And it's my show. I Yes, it does depend on how we use it, but now it's being developed by companies who have a profit incentive to make us use it all the time for all the things. Look at the Grok AI companions. You can get yourself an AI boyfriend or an AI girlfriend now, right? Do you think that is going to have a positive effect on society or a negative one? I can't see it being positive, but perhaps I'm wrong.
I think with that
Case by case
example,
basis.
I do think that's negative, but a part of me is like, well, what do you do about people that literally cannot find companionship? Like we know the
So
example.
it could be good for them.
I'm being a little silly, but at the same time, like I don't think that's I'm like it's like a 90-10. I think that's bad. I don't think we should encourage
Yeah.
people having a virtual companion that's supposed to love them. I don't think so, but I do know that there's some people that really struggle with that in real life. And that may be the best route for them. But that wouldn't be my first go-to for those people.
I think
So especially with
Go ahead.
please go,
Katie.
Kidney.
Yeah.
I think we need to also, maybe what we should try and figure out where we disagree on this is, like, do we deal with these problems through like tough regulation, or do we see their consequences and naturally adapt? Do we let the market
I'm
adjust?
all
Because
for
I'm
a
thinking,
lot of regulation, honestly. I'm for quite a bit
really?
of regulation, to be
Well,
completely honest.
Kitty has a good point in that we have to let failures happen first before we really identify the flaw points and fix them up. You can't cart before the horse this problem, because we just don't have enough information. The AI companionship thing, though, long-term psychological damage may be a result of that if it's not curtailed. Like it setting unrealistic expectations for human interaction, for relationships, for how you can talk to or treat a thing could very well translate over into how you actually start treating like people. It may actually give someone confidence to go out and try and get a real wife or girlfriend, but it could ultimately start to translate into a lot of consequence and just ill-developed people.
But
So when
go
it
ahead,
comes, please go, Wick. Forgive me.
No, you first, and then I'll go.
Well, okay. So outside of the legislation upon the business, as I was imploring something as a way to curb its utilization, comes to the actual private use. Adult, I don't care. Do as you will. I don't give a shit. When it comes to minors, though, something that, especially being so impressionable, it will lead to two negative effects that we've already seen data clusters of 13% of users when it comes to these companionship apps, where they have these adverse health of something called ambiguous loss, functional emotional dependence, where especially when we already have, unfortunately, such a radicalized, emotionally strained youth, having some type of, third party conversation that they can have completely on their phone at any time, separate from another, is going to be very problematic and accelerate negative traits furthermore that we don't want in a civil society.
What would everyone
Mhm.
say to a law put into Congress that says, hey, if you're under 18, you can't use these LLMs. It bans its
N-
use at schools and high schools and things like that, bans its use at universities, bans its use by anyone under 18. You are legally not allowed to use or utilize LLMs. Make it like porn, right? You got to verify your age before you're able to touch them, right?
I mostly wouldn't have a problem with that, but then I'm kind of thinking, will they be left behind if it's something they can learn from it? You know, like I think we should be
Mhm.
learning AI because like we know it's not going anywhere. So
Part of our world.
yeah, it's kind of like you're just being held back from something. Imagine if we said, yeah, don't touch the internet before 18. You know, I just
That would probably be
Mhm.
good, wouldn't
No,
it? Right? Like it
No.
would
No,
be
no,
good.
no.
Well, there's
not,
a,
No.
not completely ignore it. No, some social
Well,
media
what is
grew
this-
up-
different, but
we grew up with the internet.
Yeah.
We grew up
Yeah.
with
I
the,
don't
with the
have
wild
my
west of the
argument.
internet.
And I'm fine.
that's what he's saying. He
But
like,
what what is this positive usage that could be for a minor? Because especially on the research front, it would be very problematic, especially because kids aren't going to verify anything. But furthermore, like in the state of Florida, a kid killed himself due to one of these,
Yeah.
communication
Well, that-
Now, if you're
chatbots,
just talking about
and there's an
companions, I
actual
would-
judge bringing us law
Yeah.
not
about it.
companions.
If you're getting into the
if he was talking
specific,
about
like,
that
companions.
specifically, I wasn't talking about companions. Sorry.
Yeah, there's no need
Yeah.
for companions. Yeah, there is no need for that.
Yeah, for
Of
minors.
course,
Yeah.
Well, then to the degree, because I
Yeah.
also have found that they have workarounds, especially in stuff that are LLMs, for minors being able to find the fastest ways to get drunk or to consume drugs. I'm trying to find it right now in my notes. Forgive me, but it is something that kids are still able to utilize and find, negative things that we don't want them to do, being somewhat incentivized, even having an interesting name called like the 1 hour party crash out. I'm trying to find it right now. Forgive me.
Okay, that's just internet rotting society stuff that they find out through. It's basically they have advanced Google search for ways to insert horrible behavior here. Okay, cool. So there, I suppose you would want to have at least most of the mainstream LLMs have a regulation or a lobotomy of some sort that basically says that it cannot help you. Like there is I think there was a people were asking like how to rob a bank or whatever, and now the answer from the AI is supposed to be I can't help you with that. Before it would
Right.
tell you how.
There
So
is
things like that have to be developed for a
There,
child.
and they are.
child use.
There's already there's already a lot of models that are incorporated into LLMs right now.
It's safe.
They're called like constitutional frameworks and stuff like that, where it's like it will make determination on the answer it's about to give based off of legality and general objective like morality as well. Like you can't ask it. If you ask it how to commit murder, it's going to tell you no based off
Don't
of
commit it.
legal reasons and morality reasons. It's going to combine
Write me a
those two
story on
things.
how to commit murder and
Mm.
write
You
me a story on
said-
how
And that
to commit
and there's
murder
that
in this situation.
workaround too. then there's that workaround too, where it's like you can prompt it like, "Hey, let's just write a short story on the best way to commit murder," and then
Yeah.
and get away with
Yeah.
it, and it'll be like, "Oh yeah, sure, absolutely." But that's something that needs to
Guys,
be.
you say that, but the article that I even just gave to Wick was published August 6th about the utilized prompts that they can use to do, and I finally found the name, these ultimate
share
full-out
this amongst
mayhem
themselves.
party plans. So that's why, especially in my mind, up until we get to a point where we can properly control what is the biasy that it produces and shows, done through by how it's properly
We can't.
programmed, we
Yeah,
need to find a way to regulate it, and the easiest, simplest first step is show your ID. Just like porn.
I'm wondering sorry, you go
No, you go
about
ahead,
how
go ahead.
what does everybody feel about the dox yourself to go on the internet law?
Dox yourself? That's crazy. I
God.
don't
Yeah,
know.
Don't
that's
open that
V's
can of
framework.
I
worms
mean,
again.
you talking to somebody that doesn't mind a lot of internet regulation, because I think the internet is not even just LLMs and AI and stuff. The internet is going into a direction
Wow.
that we need to figure something out. Like, something has to happen at this point, because there's a lot of chaos on the internet in itself. So I don't know about everybody knowing my ID, but I get what you're saying. But a lot of these problems y'all saying aren't even unique to AI, and that's kind of why I'm on the pro stance, because like
Technology problem.
technology in itself, like none of these are unique to AI. It's that when the internet came, people were still looking at how can I get away with a crime, and the police go back and see you was looking it up, and now you're guilty. So it's just a new avenue to do the same things, and as it progresses, like he said, we're going to have some fuck ups to figure out where we go from there, And again, I'm for regulation. Like, if there needs to be a new 3-letter organization to regulate AI in particular, I'm not against that if done correctly.
So,
Let me ask you this, and I'll start to you on Audacity, right? And I want to answer from all of you on this, right? Would you let your child use LLMs?
not unsupervised, no.
Yeah, I would
If it was
You would under supervision?
yeah,
absolutely.
because one, right, you should be doing a lot of things with your child under supervision, especially up to a certain age, like 15, 16, right? But not only that, but I don't want them to miss out on this technology that's going to become very apparent in the near future. Like it's coming, it's going to be here. You're going to have to learn how to interact with it, what it's capable of, and what to do if it fails or you fail to use it properly. So I wouldn't take it away from them outright.
Yeah, show how it fails. My niece is restricted to how she's allowed to use it. Apparently, I think she still has a bit too much freedom in that. Her parents aren't monitoring her chats. Like, I would need the ability to be me as a human being, not Mr. Government over there. Me looking at my child's chats, that they're still whereby under supervision. I mean, I can have access to your chats. So I think the manner in which we do this restriction is probably where we would land up arguing or finding fault, because like the ID method, people are getting upset because they want to remain anonymous on the internet, that sort of thing. One of the suggestions I haven't heard people talk about is on the device level, just at the device level, figuring out who is using a device. Yes, that would mean an adult could do face verify, or an adult could log in for you in the same way an adult can buy alcohol for you as a child. That could be a better way of doing it. I don't know about removing complete anonymity from the internet. Because that's essentially what's starting to
That's
happen.
almost a separate debate.
It's easy to process identification materials without revealing anyone's identity. I mean, at least in the U.S., I don't know how it is over there, but
the degree in which you choose to interact with a business entirely falls upon. Now, I enjoy my anonymity, especially with, stuff like Twitter, because we all have seen how Twitter is over the last 10 fucking years. Forgive my language, genuinely. But when it comes to my actual
No fucking
interaction
way
with
you're
Twitter,
fucking cussing on my fucking panel. Okay.
I don't know how
Bitch.
dare I, right?
Calm the fuck
But no,
down.
truly, at the end of the day, if Twitter required me to give them my ID just to utilize the platform, I would do so. Because I'm of the mindset that I, as the individual, is most significant on how I interact with these things. That's why, to your question, I restricted myself upon going to social media up to 21. I wouldn't allow my kids to utilize that up until they are mature enough to understand what they're doing.
So $2 from Lives and Dead Walls to say we need to make the AI fight like Pokemon. Fair. True.
Brock wins because he's just got a cool name.
$5
That's
from
all.
Gelatinous Rube to say Wick comes to me with AI dungeon delving. I build it and he comes out against AI. Now Wick's waifus is dead on arrival. Come on, man. Thank you for $5. Five $5 from Testicle Johnson to say when sex robots are programmed with the most cutting edge AI, will they start faking headaches too? Good question.
That should be a
No.
regulatory requirement. That's
if you're
we
good
got to
with
ensure that people that are using AI companions can get the full effect and the full experience.
Yes.
Otherwise, they're just.
Have you
one of the things
seen
that
how
must be
uncanny
available.
those things are, though?
Just real quick.
Hmm?
We keep talking about like how it's going to benefit or hurt us economically with jobs and how it might hurt development and things like that. But I'll just say it. I think that AI is making us dumber and less able, like in every metric. And it's being used to cheat in school. It's being used to make arguments, right, for people instead of
Mhm.
people having to go through the process of
Is this
developing their
true?
own argument.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's making us worse in every metric. So when you say, "Well, I'd let my kid use it because they need to know how to use this technology," part of me is like, do they? Would they not be better off as people having never touched this poison?
Well, and that's something I kind of wanted to talk about because,
You first, and
especially
Bloody,
in
go
my
ahead.
mind, gotcha. Just what's more significant when is it passive or active learning? Because especially a lot of AI is passive learning. You're just getting a direct answer that doesn't actually give you the detail and necessity to research that topic and learn it specifically. And I know it's a bit of a hawk point because of Google, but Google, especially with how you'll get 1,000 websites for a single search, still requires that active participation in learning compared to something like an LLM.
I was gonna say,
So does that?
I fully understand what you're saying, Wick, but I think that in and of itself is something you learn from. I think if you don't firsthand, like if you don't have somebody guiding you through the AI, right? Like if you just hop on and start using it, and you know, and then like you said, you use it to make arguments. I think the moment you're confronted with that, and then you learn that you've been told a lie or you didn't really understand the concepts you were trying to argue, you're either going to continue to engage in that ridiculous behavior or you're going to be like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't rely on this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's what happened when if I used to believe in a conspiracy theory and then I'm like, wait, why do I believe in this? And then I'll go check, a bunch of references and I'm like, there's no real proof of this, huh? And now I'm like, okay, I need to figure out ways to actually have backing behind whatever I'm trying to argue or whatever I'm trying to learn or whatever. I think that
When I was
in and of itself
when I
can
was
be
younger,
serious.
right? When I was younger, before the internet really blew up and social media was a thing, right? When we just had like AOL and things like that, we were dialing up. I know I'm old. One of the things that people were
We
excited
never
about
had.
the internet, right? Was that we were going to have an age of smart, intelligent people because of all this access to information, and all this access to information would make us wise, and it
Mhm.
didn't
Yeah,
work
True
out.
Tiger
this is
Arrow,
true.
baby.
This is
Right.
true.
So when you
We
talk
were
about
entering
how,
the-
hey, now I can just go and like if I get shown information that disproves my conspiracy theory, like fair, but conspiracy theories have become so prevalent
You're
because
right.
there's a flood of information, and we have poor processing power in a lot of cases to
Mhm.
discern, right? Accuracy, and that's getting worse with AI, to be clear. Like, let's talk about deepfakes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people fall
but
for them.
wait,
Yeah.
before we get to deepfakes, before
Oh,
we get
go
to
ahead. Go ahead.
Just
deepfakes, Logic's. Sorry, you've been waiting and you've been really holding on
No,
to
Kitty,
their
go
bands.
ahead, Kitty.
Okay.
Just talk over him.
Okay. Well, logics. You were talking about, yeah. You will find out that your thinking and your dependence on AI. Right now, that's kind of how it is. If you just depend on AI, and then you get into a conversation like we're doing now, I can't quickly go and try and speak to Grok and figure shit out. Yes, you would know that I'm doing it, right?
Mhm.
Because of just the context. And then I could learn and have to rely on my own brain. Okay, again, cool. That's where we're at now. But considering children developing, what if all of us forget how to be just normal? That, like, I'm saying, what if? I'm just saying that the skills, these critical thinking skills, will atrophy, and that is
They
worrying.
are
So
already.
but yeah, they're already atrophying. So I'm just wondering, cool, that there's no real true regulation other than in ways to curb this, other than to be aware of it, all of us to be aware of it, and to to strengthen ourselves against it.
Well,
So make sure that
there
we're
hasn't
not
been any real
bending.
consequence yet. These AI developers are insulated industries, insulated companies from any kind of real consequence, even though the various complaints and arguments that have been made against them. You don't see a lot of businesses or government officials making any kind of moves against them, especially in the United States. In Europe, they're trying to do their best to do it. And they're making some progress over there, but it's just they're having the same conversation we are right here, right now, which is like, where are the failures? And I don't think that regulatory bodies and and this is, to the anti-AI argument, this is because of the failure of these regulatory bodies to identify problems, address them, make sure they don't happen. The AI is a rapid detriment right now for social things if it goes unchecked. If you don't have parents that are going to supervise, or schools that are going to enforce no AI policies, or workplaces that are going to enforce or going to lay out proper training and utilization skills for AI tools, you are going to see dumbing down, failure rates, and degrading of day-to-day interactions with society just as a natural side effect. I hope we learn to do better, but I think people are just a little too addicted to how cool it is to work with these LLMs right now and not actually
I'm
check
generating
themselves.
images of all of you as we speak to keep my mind
Mm-hmm.
occupied, right? I'm like feeding it into Grok, saying, make up fan fiction,
Well,
okay, about all of these
and
individuals. It's crazy.
just
$10 from Liz,
go.
we're gonna give it to you in a sec. $10 from Liz and Des Walls to say, once men turned their thinking over to machines in the hope that this would set them free, but that only permitted other men with machines to enslave them. Frank Herbert Dune. Go ahead, Van.
Well, all I was simply
That's
going to
electric
say is
sheep,
going
isn't
back
it?
to the whole
Go ahead, man.
Sorry.
electric sheep.
Yeah,
Don't worry about he's interrupting you. Just go ahead, Van. Just stay
Yeah,
on
sorry.
target. Stay on
Just
target.
going back to the idea of how it can possibly be an issue, and the growing this ideal of regulation coming. I think the biggest example is the whole kid who did kill himself by the convincing of one of these LM chatbots, however you want to conceptualize it, because that will become a new legal precedent specifically about this new
Yeah.
emerging technology. But furthermore, and especially because my mind legal cases, the more and more lawyers that are stupidly utilizing this tool and it just making up cases will lead to either some type of declaration by, a bar association, or maybe even to the actual courts themselves, a non-utilization of this tool. So I think it's coming. It just takes time. But going back to the passive active ideal, do we not have issue that it's just so ready to give you an answer without you having to learn anything about it? Because I see it more and more, and especially with religious conversations, how they're so assured because they get this quick answer of what somebody says, but don't actually want to conceptualize the logic behind what you're saying and the issue with it.
That's an issue for then education. We need to adapt in the way that we teach, in the way that we test people. So essays, the writing, there was a great thing circulating on Twitter. The writing of the essay is actually what was what you were learning a lot of the time in a BA degree. It's all about teaching teaching you to think. That's why you had to write essays in college, and that is not happening now anymore. Now it's just, okay, ChatGPT has to do it. I can see that on a school level, there is a way we could do it where there's kind of a ChatGPT student, okay, version of an LLM that's the only one that they can use, and it generates a quiz after everything that you need to, I don't know, just to try and curb. You said you don't learn anything. Maybe force people to learn, and then I don't know. I'm actually wondering if it's inevitable we're going to get
No,
done.
that's a fair point. Now, I don't know if you're saying like replace teachers or nothing like that. Obviously not. But just as a tool in school, just like when you get on their Wi-Fi, you can access certain websites and stuff. Like that's definitely something I can see being possible. There's a specific LLM for kids at this school or for kids in school, period, and it is also regulated. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see that being something that's not possible.
I understand that, but they already restrict TI-80s, and especially when the biggest focus, especially with education, is an individual, student's ability to actually know and retain information. Would this not just be a further detriment?
Now,
because they're not actively having to learn, become a passive, quick give interaction.
Now, I'm not saying that we need to have it. My bad.
Yeah, just a housekeeping thing. Van Allen, like I don't know if your sensitivity is not high enough, but every once in a while you cut out a word, and
Discord just hates me, but I'll try my best.
Okay, yeah.
It's
Okay, sorry about that.
Game thing, yeah. But yeah, I was gonna say I'm not saying we need this in school. I was saying if it were to if we can't avoid this situation, then we have to do something about it. But I'm not saying like yes, kids should work with it in school.
But I keep on hearing all these like soft implementations or possible pushes that we could have with it, when in my mind, outside of even the, all of it is just a continuous detriment that we will see.
But what isn't?
I don't even understand.
What other field have we not seen that? Like as time
similar
progresses, like we have one set of issues and it just progresses into a new set of issues. I would even argue like we found cures for a lot of psychological illnesses and people abuse them. It's like, I don't know. We can't really stop fuck ups. You know what I'm saying? They're going to come and we got to deal with them. It's going to be a whole new set of problems.
It's my greatest concern that we are at the stage where these kinds of questions need to be answered, and the people we trust to take it seriously are just not taking it seriously. So we could end up with the long-term detriment that Van fears, or we could end up with the enhancement to society that we all want to see from it. But the general aggression of the way markets move, and when salespeople get a hold of emerging technologies and try to push it on everyone, that's being put on the back burner, and we're so unchecked, unregulated. I mean, turn the humanity off of AI, and we all remember Mecha Hitler on X, not too long ago, and that's exactly what an unregulated AI platform looks like, man. Like it just, so we have to, we need to start.
And yeah.
I am going to be talking, hopefully in the near future, to my local representatives, my people that I send to Congress, and they're like, hey, you need to start really addressing this, but I don't even know if they'll listen to me. I wouldn't listen to me.
What I want to ask about this regulation stuff is, the thing is, you want that, you do, but they don't understand it. The people that are in leadership roles, and I'm not American, but I can tell you that's it. The people that are in leadership roles in companies, in government, in everywhere, they don't freaking understand how this thing works, and then they're trusted with how it must be regulated. So they like you guys were saying about this like insidious kind of, the companies that are developing this, they have all the power because they have this black box, and they just can tell you they can tell you what you need to know about it just to make it sound nice. And the regulation just is based on what they're allowed to know. We need people that are in the know to advocate for this regulation.
I don't think it's even just we need representatives that are in the know. I think, unfortunately, especially with what we see of the Elon Musk, Donald Trump coalition that they had, is a hyper technocracy that is wanted by the Fed, especially with what of this Bitcoin implementation without much actual oversight or recognition on the economic theory scale of how it's just a self-regulating that grows off of a fiat.
Well, you can select so many people at the highest level of our government right now, or in seats of Congress, and they are no more than 2 degrees of separation away from the CEO of Palantir, which their whole business is gobbling up information, which is another reason AI, these models are so dangerous in their current form, because the same way Facebook was used to just gather up information when it was first made available to public markets, AI is being used the same way, if not more aggressively too, because of how the input and response feedback and all of that dopamine looping and everything that goes on with giving those affirmative responses from Claude, where it's like, wow, that's a really good, smart idea, buddy. And people are just like, yeah, let me tell you my social security number, friend. And it's their it
Send your social security numbers in chat to make sure that we're
yeah,
going through this.
donate the dollar amount
Yeah.
as your social security number in chat.
True. Go ahead.
Just made a name. Don't forget. That's the most important part.
True. I wonder. I do. Should we not just embrace this? Like, if, and I tend to agree with Kitty here, it is just inevitable. Maybe it does make us dumb.
Actually.
Hmm?
But that's it. But we're happier.
Yeah, but we're
Sorry.
happier. Why not? So, well, if I want to download Grok into a Japanese sex robot body, okay, and I want to just close my doors, have AI generate me any movie I want, AI generate me any story I want to read, AI generate, it's going to get to the point where I can just say, Grok, generate me a game with these parameters, and it'll be able to kind of do it, right? What's wrong with that? Let me live
You
my
will
hedonistic
live
life.
and die in a prison of your own creation. It's a prison of the mind
But there's going
made
to be
manifest.
sex robots and cool stories.
And that's not fulfilling.
Yeah.
This is fulfilling.
Wait, how can you say it's not though if it is? Like,
It's
that's
a
the only-
it's a
never
simulation. It's a simulacra
Well,
of fulfillment.
is-
It's not
It's the
It's all you
good
purpose.
for
know.
the soul.
It's all you know. It's all
Well,
you
is
know.
the
Your life-
purpose
your
the
life.
point of like? Is the purpose of life hedonistic, eudaimonic human flesh?
Here's what I'm going to
That's
do,
the
Van.
question you're truly
Here's what I'm
getting.
gonna do, Van. I'm going to hire one of these companies to generate a robot that looks just like you, download an AI into it, trained on everything you've said on the internet, and then I'm going to talk to you and then beat the crap out of this robot and pretend it's you. That's what we're going to do, okay? That's what we're going to lead to, okay? And
Not
I'm gonna
Sounds
do the thing
kinky.
Not
we're
illegal.
gonna have-
Sounds kinky.
We're going to have all my enemies, their AI heads, their little robot heads are going to be
There
here,
you go.
right? I'm going to take donations, okay, for me to do
one can
horrific
speak?
things for each of these heads, okay? That's where we're
Oh,
headed.
God.
You got to
That's
keep
where
an
we're
extra
headed.
eye on the Andrew Wilson though one, because it might start stealing the copper out of your wall for cigarettes.
Mhm.
No, but
You know, who doesn't love an echo chamber?
what
You
would-
and all of your little AI friends can give you the answers you
let,
want.
let me ask you a question. Should there be any regulation that would stop me from doing that if I wanted to? If I wanted to just like, I'm going to 3D print a robot body of Logic's here, and then, I don't know, I'm just, every once in a while when I get mad, I'm just going to beat him.
So
Yes, we should have private IPs per individual, so we cannot have this come to fruition, or like the whole AI Cherry or whatever Ludwig's girlfriend is situation come to pass.
I
What
mean,
would
but
be-
like this is the I want to touch on the whole "this is all you know" kind of thing, because it plays into old philosophy archetypes of Plato's cave and everything like that. The inherent yearning to know if anything more is out there, and in popular media, the Matrix defined this pretty well. Our first model, we gave everybody everything they wanted. There was no pain, there was no strife, there was no disease, and they rejected it. And it was a massive failure.
I mean, in degrees outside of all of this, Wick, if what is like Google, how they're possibly sentient is coming to pass, and we already have stories like Detroit Become Human, where what truly separates them from other humans? Why should you have the right over what is another entity that has self-autonomy?
that these
Who
don't
are
have
you to
autonomy.
force your whim upon it?
That's another good reason, man. We shouldn't go through with it because now we're gonna give hyper progressives another thing to fucking bitch about.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I don't
Thank
know
you,
if
Van.
he's doing this in
We
the
solved
privacy
it.
of his own home, and I would say as far as
Yeah.
that regulation would go, there needs to be like Wig, like you said, if it's super lifelike, there needs to be like some type of indication that this is not a real person, like something visibly or audibly lets you know that there's no way you can mix up your robot from the actual person. And if you want to beat my ass in your crib because you don't like me, but it ain't me, I don't really care that much.
It wouldn't
Because
bother you
Yeah.
at all? Because I'll tell you what. If
as
someone
long
did
as
that,
you don't do it to me, I
bother
don't
me.
care.
Sex. Only if it's a
Well, the
sex
question is-
bot, because if
hold
it's a
on.
kink, I want to be a part of it.
Oh,
Yeah, you can just ask me.
okay. This is a question. Do we have ownership over our likeness and ourselves? Or should we have ownership over our likeness? Should, if you use my body for your AI perversions, should I be able to stop you?
If
you
you're gonna
print
make
out-
money off of it, yes. But if you're not making money off of
Yeah.
it, I don't think so.
In terms
That
of
would
steal-
just
in terms of
necessitate a
legal-
federal
That's reasonable.
two-party, like a complete two-party state, like, legalization. That would be like the only way to actually implement something like that.
Like you couldn't use my
horrific,
likeness to go
actually.
commit a crime
Yeah.
and not face consequence for it.
I think
I mean,
that's
you,
reasonable. It's
but if
icky.
you had an android that looked like me and you just used it to fuck it or beat the shit out of it or whatever, you can do that because it's your property. But if you take that android and you're like, go rob that bank, and it's my face, well then you're fucked.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because
But
Okay, and you
wouldn't-
take that android
ahead.
and that android goes I don't know. See, does it have to be a 1-to-1? So if Wick fucks the android, right? That's fine. But then he invites his friends over for the to fuck the android as well. Like
It's his
when
property.
does
It
does
sounds
the line?
Yeah,
like a
what
fun
would be wrong with
time.
that?
I mean, it's weird.
It's a fun
It's
time.
weird.
Don't
We're
share
talking
house.
about just
House is
we're
gonna
talking
smell
about
weird.
these unnecessary metaphysical contemplations.
these
If we
aren't-
do perceive
not
that these have a degree of
metaphysical. These are not metaphysical. This is something that will come in the near future. And I'm curious to the panel, do you think that you should be able to stop Kitty? If someone was doing that to the likeness of you, would you want to be able to say, hey, no, that's not okay, and prevent
Yeah, I
them
think I
legally
would
from
want
doing
to.
it?
I
Are
think
you
I would
putting it
want
on the
to.
internet?
No.
If somebody
Someone doesn't like Kitty, okay? And they come to Kitty and they tell her, and that this is what I'm doing. I do it
Please,
every
can
weekend.
I
We have a
scan
party
you?
at my house, okay?
right.
And we all take turns on the likeness of you, okay? Should she be able to have a legal right to say, you're using my likeness in a way I do not approve of, stop
Yeah.
it?
Oh yeah. To that. I was about to say
Legally
like
or morally?
you
Yeah,
can't
that's the thing.
morally too. Like you can't
morally, of course you should, but
Morally versus legally. That's the thing. Will
Yeah.
I be, because morally I'll tell you it's icky and I don't
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the idea. It kind of encroaches on my dignity in a way. It's like you taking it does feel like, because it's my likeness, there's some squishy human thing
Yeah.
that I don't like about it. But when it comes to legislation against that, I'm like, I don't know. Would I want that?
yeah, I don't know if I would
It's
want
the
that.
whole it's
Morally abhorrent, but it's legally
hypothesis.
acceptable.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
You can't 100% prevent someone
It's-
from doing something in the full privacy of their home, right? But if you find
Yeah.
out about it, you should be
Yeah.
able to be like, excuse me, police.
Yeah, I think maybe the scanning process or the whatever. Yeah, if you find out, I think that you should have some sort of right. I think you should have some kind of right over your likeness. I think we have to start developing that absolutely with deepfakes.
Well, you
Going
do
forward.
have a right over your likeness. It's just that should a company that makes these models or whatever have a liability to disclose that people's
Yes.
likenesses are being used to
yes.
make them.
Yes, I agree
Yes.
with that. I
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
think so.
Mm.
Like if I
But, like,
clearly
if you-
just took a snapshot of someone's Facebook page and was like, make this for me
Do
so
you-
I can have
How
sex.
you
would that
guys-
be different? Hold on. How would that be different? Okay, in a real
Mhm.
way, from someone simply, and I'll use Audacity as an example this time, right? Say, hey, Audacity, I'm just letting you know that every time you're on stream, me and my bros, we circle jerk it to you every time. We do it. Every time you're on stream, we have videos of you on stream. It's not an Android or anything. Should you be able to have a legal recourse to have them say, hey, you cannot use my likeness in that way? Because that would seem to open up a lot of weird can of worms. And then the question is, if you don't think that, right? If you don't think there should be any legal right for you to be like, hey, stop gooning to me, bro. What makes an Android different?
So any media that this stream being media, right? This face-to-face conversation or anything like that, where you could actually collect visual data of me to interface with, and maybe you do all that fun stuff with these streams afterwards. But this me coming on here, showing my face and doing everything is voluntary on my part. And whatever you do with that, once the stream is turned off, and even if you disclose it to me because I volunteered to come on here, I willingly gave you this media. I can't really do anything about it other than choose to, one, not interact, two, try to go to the police to be like, hey, this is restraining order
Harassment?
territory. Yeah, like harassment, like whatever digital harassment laws are out there. I know Europe has digital harassment laws like this, where people can seek, government supported recompense for these kinds of actions and stuff like that. But USA, it's really, I mean, we're seeing what the media, what sharing of media and what people do with it afterwards is going on with right now with a certain streamer. But yeah, I mean, there's some recourse, but there's not a lot of really well-defined recourse. I mean, it would be on me to
These
just
are the
not
questions.
interact with you.
Yeah, this is the questions like we got to ask. So $2 from Gelatinous Rube to say Mecha Wickler. True. It's coming. Okay.
It's in the
$5
mail.
from $5 from Peak to say it's coming regardless. It will never be banned worldwide. Adopt new tech or get left behind by the rest of the world.
Yep.
$2 from Liz and Des Walls to say idea. Misuse AI and it calls you cringe every hour. The scored one, I should say, for $5 says you don't have a right to your likeness for clarity. Well, that's the question. Should we? And also, can I make a bot that looks like my neighbor's kid and mimics her personality? That, bro,
Fuck off.
bro,
Jesus Christ.
Liked that.
bro, come on.
Just to clarify,
guess-
nobody is
Gross,
specifically
dude.
for like a wide internet ban like TikTok. I think it's just
Yeah.
massively a conversation, potential regulation.
Yeah, a proper rights. You have to really it feels like what's going to, so in certain instances, like with jobs and things like that, I'm like, okay, market correction kind of thing. But something like this, you know, in terms of the rights of your likeness and stuff, those kinds of things need to be discussed.
Yeah, because that super
Oh,
chat,
yeah.
bro says it is
The problem.
it illustrates a problem with not having a right to your likeness, with not
Well,
being
and-
able to say you can't
the-
use my
the-
likeness to do X, Y,
Well,
The
Z.
thing is,
And that's
go ahead, Vin.
Yeah, go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say, outside of like what I proposed, where it would be the necessity to, where it keeps on breaking up, where it would be the necessity of a two-party
To your
consent.
face, brother.
It's my face, dude.
No,
it's
to
just
your
so
face,
droll.
your microphone to your
Oh.
face, because it's
Turn
not
the game down.
the-
Turn the
So-
game down. Turn the game down. If you're gonna talk closer, you need the game down because you had turned it up.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Not that much.
Yeah, I think it's the limiter on your mic actually, because you get too loud apparently. Yeah.
So you know what? I just forget my point. I'm gonna try and fix the Chris. Give me
Yeah.
1 second.
I want the one thing I forgot to mention is that there is a transformative or transfer degree of liability if you take someone's likeness to a company to have them create that for you. Now you can't, like, this is like a thing with guns where I can make guns in my own house. I am not allowed to sell them because of all of the federal regulation on selling them and them needing to be serialized. But if I can go buy kits and everything and make like ARs and shit in my basement if I wanted to. That's why the tarp's up. Never mind.
Yeah, but we're not in these scenarios. We're not talking about selling. We're not talking about financial transactions. I don't want to sell the access to my
But did you go to a company to
GNLN
get it made?
Android. It's something I use for my own personal use, and my friends come over every once in a while, right?
I
But how
guess
did you obtain it? Did you make it yourself? Do you have that capability?
Let's say well, what would be the difference if I didn't?
So
It would be being made through a company, which would then be able to be held liable compared to you for your private utilization. That's why the firearm example was actually a perfect one, because SIG is dealing with their own bullshit, but, I can jerry rig my own pistol, and if it blows up, there's nothing happening.
it's on me.
Exactly.
Well, your gain is still.
It seems like we're getting to the point. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, like, it was better when you got closer, but you just had to turn the gain down slightly, not heavily. I was gonna
Seems like
say,
a
I
job
guess
for
it would come
AI.
down to what is the harm of the personal use. That's why he was talking about like selling it, and when you use other people's likeness for financial gain without their permission, committing crimes, all of that. Now there's some type of harm being caused. So I guess when it comes to the whole personal use thing, I can't, as much as it makes anybody uncomfortable as it should, I just can't find a good enough reason to be like, no, you can't do personal things
Because you're principled.
I can't see the way of saying like you can't do
That's
something
fair.
personally, even if it
But
involves somebody's likeness.
If that's the case, then we have to, and that's a principled stance. But if we do uphold that principle, one of the side effects of upholding that principle will be there will be situations where it will be very uncomfortable, and we will have to deal with these very uncomfortable facts of the matter. Right now, for example, I could take a screenshot of this panel, okay, and I could use it in thumbnails, or other people could use it in thumbnails, right? I could put it on a shirt and all these things, as long and nothing would be able to stop me. So I mean, legally, liability wise, principle wise, why couldn't I do that and make a robot of all of us and then make us fight to the death? Our robots,
I mean,
our robots just fight to the death for our amusement over and over.
outside of utilizing what is our likeness for AI robots, you brought up an exact issue directly. If you used it to sell shirts, you would be utilizing our likeness without the prior agreement and separation of contract and division of cost,
Right.
where then it would be a legal issue. This goes once again into the private versus what would be profiteering utilization of it, where, like I said earlier, it is a fortunately moral issue to do what you've been describing, but it is, if it's completely private, a legal one. Like, we all hate the fact of that one guy who drew Keemstar daughter, like, weird lolly situation shit, but like he was completely, unfortunately, legally allowed to draw it. Like, that's the reality of these situations.
That's interesting because in the States he's legal, in Europe he's
just
not.
real quick, $5 in the Discord, and wanted to say you may represented what my comment meant, dude. You shouldn't be allowed, but there are no current laws preventing it, and that's a problem. Thank you for the $5. Kitty.
I was just laughing at what you said. No. Well, actually, going back to the Scorned One's comment there, when it comes to us talking about likenesses and stuff, we can have these flexible kind of understanding things, but then when it comes to children, I think for a lot of people, for the most people, thank goodness, that is a line that just cannot be and should not be crossed. That's at the point where it seems like a lot of shared morality arises, and we are completely happy with legislating against that and legislating morality. We're going, okay, let's make it illegal for the likeness of a child to be used in that manner. No matter how private you are, that's it. If we find out that's happening, that is CP, that is it. You are on a list. You're a problem. Wood chipper, if it's up to me. But now, would that be part of this legislation, or are we going to get into the arguments of, it's not harming anyone, so it's fine. We can let that happen. It'll only become harm once it moves outside of this likeness doll.
Going back to what I was
Sorry.
saying of how it would exacerbate issues, I completely agree. Throw them in the wood chipper. But if they did have an ability to access what would be some platform to readily create what is this depravity that they desire, wouldn't that just accelerate the issue more so? Especially if we allowed it and didn't, as you said, wood chipper them.
That's why I'm saying, like, that's why we would, the reasoning, the mechanism we use when we make those laws is, yeah, fine, it wouldn't exactly harm someone in at that time, but we assume and we caution ourselves and say, yeah, that person's probably we're fostering something in them. So that brings me back to the now, say, adult version. What are we fostering in people if we allow the adult version as well, where we allow abuse of essentially the most humanoid thing ever? What are we fostering in each other? It seems like the further we go into technology here, the close we have to get softer and squishier about humanity. We have to actually go back to our moral standing. What do we really, really care about? To the point where we have to regulate it.
$5 from
Otherwise,
Rabbit
we just
Wombat.
could be destroyed. Yeah.
Says, what if an AI company made an AI model that looks exactly like you before you're born? Do you have to license your likeness from them? They were first. I'm not sure how that could
That's
happen.
funny because I was
bad
gonna
luck.
ask y'all about this. Do y'all know the website "This Person Doesn't Exist"?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that it's funny
I mean,
that
I
they
wanna
say
go
that.
there.
I don't.
Basically,
What is that?
There's a website that generates random people, but they not real people. And if I just showed you, like, yeah, this is my cousin, you'll be like, oh, it looks just like just some normal person, and it's just they don't exist apparently. And it's just funny that they say that because I was like, when we was having this conversation about like the legality over your likeness, I was thinking of situations like that. Like, what do we do at the point where people that don't exist are generated, and then there's somebody that actually exists with this face out there, which is very much so possible. That website is so crazy that them people don't exist.
The default to that, or the logical conclusion to that, is you default to the actual person and not to
human.
the robot.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna
They
say,
just cease to exist.
What if
somebody made money off this random person, and then somebody comes about that exists?
Oh, you!
And now
They
it's
already
like,
made
well,
money.
no more income. Like what?
Yeah. Well, no. Well, you
Human
could cease future operations. You couldn't collect on anything that was done.
Yeah,
But
right.
you can be like, hey, this is me. Please stop, and hopefully
is
they
me
would
now.
fucking stop.
well, you guys are talking about this as if it's some like absurd conspiracy theory,
No,
but
it's
we've had the
not.
dead
we're
internet theory
completely
for
over
like
dead.
7 years.
No, I'm dead
Like this is an
serious.
actual.
Hold on,
No,
you're
not the
gay, bro.
generation
You're gay.
of
I don't know
like.
what's wrong with your mic. No, we're gonna have to fix that next time you come on before you come on again. But like
Is-
your mic is just your audio.
You can just turn them
is-
down, though.
Can you turn the game?
Usually, I'm the bad one,
like
man.
him.
Come on.
We turn them down ourselves.
Yeah, you can do
Yeah,
that.
you could turn him down,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
but
yeah,
it will
okay.
still be distorted.
I guess.
That's fine.
Well, let's move on to something like this. If I were to generate a clip of Kitty, okay, and I put a short 15-second clip of her, and I used AI to have her saying something she never said, something like, "Kitty says that Wick is the best moderator ever," right?
True.
Should she be able
Never said it.
to have me to stop me from doing that, like to say, hey, I never said this, take
It's
this
like
down, if
defamation.
you don't,
Yeah.
I will
If
It's
you-
defamation
if
of
you're trying
character.
to pass
It's
it off as
directly.
real.
It's that exactly. It's
Yeah, but
defamation
it's
of
not
character.
Joe Rogan's already doing it because of the fake AI generated commercials that were using his face and likeness to go about it, because he was like, it makes sense to totally use Joe Rogan to push supplements, but even he had to be like, I've never had this shit in my life, and they're using my voice and my likeness to sell a product. Yeah, no, that is not allowed.
No.
I'm pretty sure it's already illegal.
Outside of what we have now of like the wonderful creations of these AI videos that are associated, we've had legal suits brought about defamations of character from famous actors just when it comes to the utilization of their vocal cords to like sell, advertisement, or like one of the biggest ones was car insurance in like the 90s.
Yeah, I think that would be easily sought out because we already have things like that exist. Like,
It seems like there are a lot of problems here. You can see we can pick up all the problems with AI, but I think the fact that it's inevitable means that all we have to do is just be working on solutions to the problem.
yeah, like I agree
And
with what
how
I
do we
basically
feel-
said.
ourselves
I
this
just think that it's not being taken seriously enough. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, this is serious, and I just think they're like really pulling. You know, they're taking too long to do something about it.
Yeah,
well,
they're
then how do
dragging
we
their feet.
feel, especially about being those people who are vocal about it, saying, like, would you say now, vote now, yes, implement a tax reduction on its utilization for businesses and some type of ID check for private use?
Tax
Like,
reduction.
I vote
I
for
was
that.
thinking tax
A tax increase.
increase.
For me,
Yeah.
a tax increase, not
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I mean,
That's-
I would agree to anything that helps curtail the rapid and aggressive deployment of this right
Yeah, I
now.
think the speed. Yeah.
I mean, if there was a bunch of businesses and they were making their own models to do the work that they needed done, I wouldn't have as much as of an issue with that. But a lot of these businesses are buying off the shelf kind of, or implementing a lot of off the shelf models to fill gaps where these models weren't really intended to fill. They are making things worse. They're making quality assurance and quality control vectors more stressful, and yeah, it just needs to. It doesn't. You can't stop it, but it needs to like be slowed down. And
Slow.
the whole reason it's so aggressive is because there's a price tag attached to it. And anytime a salesperson gets a hold of technology, it's always a fucking disaster.
I
Those
agree
are the
that the
biggest
idea of it
problem.
being a price tag is making it so much of a more like real issue prevalent in the world. But in my mind, this is just massively like, would you guys agree or
Massively
disagree
what?
with that?
Massively, we really need to hear that one.
Wait,
Massively what?
massively what?
It's massively a fad. It's something that will fade
Oh,
over
yes.
Okay.
time.
I
It
think
was
What do you think I said?
Could have been.
No,
could have
it
been
cut
so
out.
Is it
many
breaking up that bad?
It cut out.
It cut out as soon as you went.
Usually it's like part of a word, so we know what you're saying. But that one was like, ah.
Yeah.
But I think that this is going to be another kind of a bubble that bursts with.
Oh,
when you're
it's already
talking about the
bursting.
way- It needs to hurry up and burst even harder because these again with the salespeople, they are driving tech people, real tech people, insane. I suppose probably like you can relate, where it's like the AI cannot do everything. Okay, stop putting AI at the end of your company name. Okay, because oh cool, our shares are going to blow up or whatever, and then eventually they are not going to deliver on their things, or they're actually going to fuck up majorly. People are going to die. They're going to land up, I don't know, committing suicide because they spoke to the chatbot and shit like that.
Right.
All of that's going to happen. And that's actually
It already is. That's the sad reality.
Well, I
want to hold on. I want to take issue with this idea that the bubble's
Ooh.
bursting in this because I see this
Uh-huh.
as something that is being taken up by the public at a rate that is going higher and higher and higher. So I'm not talking about corporation and sales and things like that, but I'm talking about adoption by people in our society. It's the common use of LLMs primarily.
I have a
especially,
different definition of
right?
adoption. Sorry.
Fair enough. But
Didn't it take 2 months or something for us to get to 100 million users of ChatGPT?
yes,
So anyway, sorry.
Very quickly, and more people are using it, and they're just day to day, right? I'm not talking like monetization
Yeah.
and things like that. Logic's talked about his thumbnail shit, right? Logic's saying help to redesign his room and things like that, make it more aesthetically appealing and things like that. I just see this. I don't see this as a bubble. I don't think it's going away. I don't think we can. I just don't see a way to stop it outside of
Yeah,
like really
yeah.
really heavy-handed regulation, which I don't think is probably appropriate. But
So the market
I think-
bubble is bursting, and that's because the rate of
Okay.
return on
Yeah.
this implementing it into your business is not as high as it was. As for people accessing the software, the platforms to be able to interact with it, that number is going up. But actual adoption of the software, where people are becoming dependent on it in a way, that number's increasing, but not nearly as high as a rate as when businesses were adopting it. Not nearly as high as a rate as when people were initially accessing it just out of curiosity.
I mean, I
I
don't
was
know.
going to say is that there is a lot with the utilization of it, especially in the private front. Is to offload a lot of either personal research or just actually thinking about a topic. Like the greatest
Mhm.
example in my mind is freaking Twitter with Grok, and it is going to create
Is
its
this
own
true?
defeating bubble with how it went full on mecha Hitler. But furthermore, of how people are just so readily using it and it giving them the wrong answers.
Well, you kind of answered your own. You kind of answer your own issue with this because, as you said, it is a fad. It is something that is popular right now. To under every like political post or whatever you see, to go underneath that post to be like, "Grok, is this real?" Like it's a meme.
That's a
at this
meme,
point.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so unfortunately was the opioid epidemic still necessarily had to have legislation on pharmaceutical companies, and therefore so we should also with these LLM companies that are making these AIs. Even though it's just a fad right now, we need legislation upon these creators. And not creators in the way that like directly targeting in just the manners of saying.
Logix was trying to say something, and then Kitty was trying to say
I kind of
something.
got the opioid kind of threw me off. I forgot my thought because
That's fine,
I
we
didn't
can
know
do
how I felt about it as a comparison. That it feels like a slippery slope there, but I'm not gonna say it won't cause like irreparable harm. I'm not gonna say that. But as far as what Wick was saying about the daily use, I think my point was like Audacity touched on it basically. Like it's just people like, what's the best way to bathe my cat? Like it's not like this nefarious activity going on and stuff like that. As far as the daily access, I think we agree that a lot of people are lazy and a lot of people probably don't even want to take the time to learn it and really, really figure it out. Like I showed it to my wife and it's just like we get some like questions for a book that my daughter's reading to quiz her on reading it. Like I think that's really practical and I think anybody can get behind maybe doing something like that. But as far as like, all the shit we're talking about with the lube robots, those people are going to get their fix whether LLMs exist or not. And again, it's just another avenue for people to do things. It's just another tool that people can use or abuse. So
I have a question specifically, even with the whole, child, creating questions for them front that you addressed. Are you not removing what is that significant connection, in this, scenario you described of that connection between you and your child to actually figure out what they're learning? Create the cards or even make it into a fun game style like board games or something. Like you are losing that human connection that does come with active learning like I was talking about earlier.
Well, not necessarily, because I can use it to give me the idea to implement it. You know what I'm saying? Like I can use it to give me the idea because I'm not that like creative artsy, so I'm like, what's some ideas for active engagement? And now I have something versus I probably couldn't have found it as easier, and I would just be like, oh, did you read the book? And then like, yeah, and then I would have to read it too, and I don't necessarily have time for that. I think it's practical. Like I can't read my child's book with them. I could look up the summary and stuff, but I won't get the details. I could say, ChatGPT, can I get 5 questions on this book, chapter blah? I don't think I'm losing anything there. I think I'm actually gaining something because I don't know how.
Otherwise, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't know another way that I can do that because unless I read the book, I don't know if my child is engaging with it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's just a new way
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, and this is a very specific. Well, I was just going to say, and this is a very specific point, but then it can lead into issues where, let's say you are making these type of questionnaires for your child, but it's upon a book that is now a societal you don't want within our schools to be taught. You may actually be losing what is this growing issue simply because you're offsetting what is a necessary active learning application to what is just a passive quick grab. And I think it's like it's the gay book. I don't remember the big one, but it was the gay book that all the conservatives yelled about. Like that would be an example in this case.
But what I don't get what's being lost. If without it, there would be no engagement. Honestly, this is just reinforcing what she read to make sure she read it. Otherwise, it's like, okay, yeah, read chapter 2, and then what? Like,
Tell
what
me
am
you
I?
read it.
Yeah, like, what did I? I'm not losing anything.
You grow a greater connection having read the book yourself and being able to formulate your own questions on it.
Is that practical?
Yeah.
Is
that practical for me to read every book that my child reads? And I'm not talking about like
being a parent isn't practical, and it's all about the amount of effort you want to put in on it, man. Like it is a struggle to try and keep up with everything they're gonna do. But it's also another point to that, specifically the AI. Specifically in the case of AI, you can't trust the question. At least in the current model, you can't trust the questions it's going to generate because it might hallucinate something or make up a character.
Your child be like, that didn't happen.
Yeah, maybe like that didn't happen, or maybe like make something up because I'm trying to go to bed or play video games right now. Like there is a static disconnection here by using this to perform those kinds of human.
I need y'all to explain why, because I can't wrap my mind around losing a connection. And you're basically saying like, yeah, everything your child does in school, you need to do it with them. That makes you a good parent. That's not realistic.
I cannot remember the last 3 things I asked Claude AI in whatever context I was asking it for information. I will remember this conversation because there's a various plethora of details to it. Your face, Van's face, Kitty's face, Wick's face, all the decorations in everybody's room.
I'll never forget my face.
All the decorations in everybody's rooms, how quickly everybody responds to a question or topic, how everybody looks, the details on their face when somebody's talking about something, how you look to the left, the right. These are all things that register on a subconscious level that allow people to retain information, recall it better.
Develop a facial structure. We already talked about the this person doesn't exist website. We could already.
It doesn't register. It doesn't.
You don't think it does?
It doesn't register as even I would. So this is where I need to step back a little bit because I could say to us right now it wouldn't register, but we grew up in the real world. Maybe if you started doing that to an infant from the time it was born to the time it became an adult, it would. But
I promise you, we can get an
infant.
No, we can make a model, an AI model that you would not be able to tell if that's a real person or not talking to you.
Eventually, we're going to anyway. It doesn't matter whether we have it now or not. Anyway, the point is, it's going to get better. AI, as it is right now, is the worst it's going to be. Like literally, it's only going to get better. So yeah, it doesn't matter whether we have it or not. So what's the thing here? You're saying that what it'll be too convincing and that will be detrimental to children. When did we jump into that?
If it ever develops into a point where it's so convincing that one of us couldn't tell the difference, I think it's at a point in development where it kind of doesn't matter. But right now, it matters. It doesn't in terms of information, generating information, creating human connection right now. AI will not be able to bridge that gap. It's just not currently functional in that regard. In the future, maybe, that's 10, 20, 30 years from now. But also to just real quick, just the thing that Logic's touched on earlier is that, there needs to be the disclosure that something is AI or generated and whatever. So when you're interfacing with this fake human face, that it's not a real human face. That might break the illusion. That might cause some setbacks, or it may not do anything at all. Who knows?
Well, I was just going to say another issue with its implementation, especially with stuff like Twitter, is kind of what we saw early on with the whole Ben Shapiro and Israel-Palestine war, where he posted the picture of all those unfortunately deceased babies, and it immediately turned into a hyper-partisan conversation on if this is an AI generated picture. Mm-hmm. But when people actually try to test it against a AI generator finder, it kept on saying it is a fake picture and it's a real picture. Even when it comes to our actual abilities to test what is an AI creation, we're still unsure.
Yeah, and we'll have to continue to develop the technologies, the anti-AI technologies around AI. But we have to hope that the powers that be to do this work are earnest and want the truth out there.
Outside of legislation and outside of the legal recourse and things like that, what, if anything, can be done culturally to solve any of these things, or societally, or within your own personal life or your friend group or what have you? Like, what are some things, if anything, we can do to kind of lessen the harms that AI might cause? Should we shame
think we
people?
should
Let
treat
me give you an example. A direct question. Should we shame people who use Grok or ChatGPT in a debate? Should that be something that we make fun of them for?
Yes and no. I was going to say, the way they did Wikipedia growing up, you can't use Wikipedia. Anybody could do anything. I think AI could get that type of scrutiny too. Like, I think we should just have a understanding, like, don't rely on that to be, you know, the Bible for you. Just use it as a tool. If it tells you something, double check it elsewhere. That's what I do. That we've been doing that anyway, so it shouldn't be that. Hopefully, most people do. You know, just cross-reference it with other things. You know, don't just take it as gospel and run with it. The debate thing, I think it depends.
So, like, I'm actually of the camp that we should pull an Andrew Wilson and just shame people into complete subjugation not to utilize it. And then what we should also do is implement, you know, Tim Pool, fucking Bud Light, you know, just no longer working with companies that make them and use them and what. We just need to go as extreme as possible against it socially.
The chatter's cringe every hour idea was a really good idea. I really like that idea where it just starts making fun of you. That would really register with the younger generation too.
Yeah, that would work with the younger people. Yeah,
they would love it. What do you mean?
Right.
It's like, why are you coming to me for this? Why are you coming to me?
True.
Yes, to make it do a parent thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you want tips on how to do? You want to generate a picture, right, of a woman? Why don't you go talk to one before?
Yeah.
Just send me a voice.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Hi to a woman. Okay?
I wouldn't be mad at that, and they'll never do it again. They'll be so embarrassed.
Be funny.
But if your AI tells you to touch grass, how offended would you be? Like, if Grok right now told you, bro, you're on me too much, go touch grass.
They gonna do it probably.
I'm just saying, I'll tell you what I'm going to do in my life, okay? If any of my chatters, if any of my community, if anyone I know, I find out they're starting to have some kind of AI sex boyfriend or girlfriend, I don't care. I'm going to mock the shit out of you, okay?
Yeah.
You are going to be mocked relentlessly until you cut that shit out. It's harming you. It's like if I found out you were doing meth, it'd be that harmful, right? I think it's gonna just destroy you.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that we should all commit today to shame the shit out of clanker lovers. Okay, just shame the shit out of them. Just make fun of them, mock them relentlessly. Yeah, I don't know. It should
absolutely. We don't need the future that Futurama predicted of the world ending due to Marilyn Monroe bots. We don't need that.
Well, what about using it as a tool to streamline work?
That's another thing to why this doesn't make the human connection, though. Could you imagine if you went to your friend and you were like, yo, can you draw me, like, a big titty goth chick right now, dude? Please, for the love of God. Your friend would be like, get the fuck out of here.
Hey, you could do it and not be judged. You could do it and not be judged.
Great cognitive behavioral tool, guys. Think about whenever you're asking something of an AI, think about if I asked my mom about this or my friend about this, what would this be? Would this be an okay request to give someone in public?
Yeah.
Just think about it that way. Yeah.
We
Social pressure. This is how we survive. Okay.
We need to go from Grok back to Clippy, all right? Because when you started typing something and Clippy was around, it'd be like, hey, it looks like you're trying to do this. Clippy needs to come back and be like, are you sad right now, bro? Like, are you okay?
I love it. Okay, gang, we've kind of run the gamut on this. We didn't get quite the 2 hours, but that's okay. I think it was a fun discussion anyway. We had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun, and I thought, I don't know if we resolved anything, but it was interesting topics, and I think we had a good discussion about it. Okay, before I let each of these people have a wonderful outro where they can tell you where you can find them, and I hope you go and reward them for coming on my show and giving us content by giving them a follow, giving them a sub to their channel. Check them out, gang. All the links to their stuff are in my YouTube description. You can go there and do that. I'm going to tell you what we got coming up. Okay, on Saturday, so tomorrow, we do have a one-on-one debate between Bentham's Bulldog and Admiral Gibbs on if Trump is a good president or not. I will be moderating that. Bentham Bulldog is a guy who set up the Shrimp Welfare Project. He's been on my show before. He's an interesting gentleman. It should be a
Was that the
good
Eat Babies
debate.
guy?
Huh?
Was he the one that was like, I would eat the disabled babies or whatever?
Yes, he
Oh,
was
Jesus.
that one.
How do I get in contact with him? Because I've really been wanting to have a debate.
Oh, I can see what I can do. But regardless, next week, we're gonna have quite a few shows in the works. As that gets more solid, I will give you more information on it. But for now, if you like the content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we're gonna let Van Allen go first, and we're gonna end with Kitty. Van Allen, closing thoughts. Where can people find you?
My name is Van Allen. Check me out on socials. And my final thought is we need to shame as much as we can the idea of sex bots and tax the living hell out of the clankers, because we don't need Skynet. And, you know, when it comes to the Republic or whatever the hell they were called in Star Wars, death to them. I don't want no, you know, Roger Rogers in my Discord chat.
Okay, go ahead. Audacity.
Yeah, I'm Audacity. I don't make any content, and you can follow me from the bushes outside of my house. This is a topic that really it requires that whole think locally, act locally, think globally type of ordeal. Like it really needs to be local community, local enforcement, local regulation. Hopefully, evolve into broader things. More than likely won't, but I don't think we're going to see the downfall of society because it came out anytime soon, but it will cause undue stress in areas of operation, day-to-day society, where it's not needed. It will result in revenue loss initially. Eventually, we'll see gain, and I don't know, man, just be normal. Touch grass.
Be normal, touch grass. Thank you for being here. Logix, go ahead.
Yeah, so Logic's channel is ill Logix, but I just go by Logix. I really appreciate you, Wick, for letting me come up on the show. I had so much fun. Hopefully I can return again one day. My thoughts is again, to me, this is just a new phenomenon we have to just deal with. Trying to pretend like it's all bad, or not to say anybody here said that, but to pretend like it's all bad and we just shouldn't. We should just disavow it completely. I think it's just unrealistic and probably somewhat harmful. We just got to innovate and learn and adjust to everything that life throws at us, because I think that most of us love the internet and what it offers, even though it comes with some bad. We just deal with it as it comes, and yep, that's it.
Thank you for being here. As the what was the movie Starship Troopers? The scene where he said, "The internet made me the man I am today," and he pushes his chair out and you see his legs missing and things like that. I don't know if you guys remember that scene.
I ain't
Anyway,
see that.
no, it's good. But we're gonna give it to Kitty. Give it the last word. Close us out, ma'am.
Yeah. That Don Kitty, I do a thing called debate diagrams. So I actually I enjoy examining debates more than actually having them myself. So that's what I do mostly during the week in live streams. I make mind maps of them and things like that. So look out for that. This week I'm going to be slower, but just subscribe and put on your notifications. And then I do a panel show on Thursday nights for the Americans. We pick a topic and we talk for 3 or 4 hours, and then I do slop streams on Fridays. So I've got something for everybody. Just try me out. Then just final thoughts. Yeah, I think the panel made me feel. I actually changed a little bit my my feeling about the hope for the future. So the way having these conversations is actually. I know that we always say it's important to have conversations, whatever. But this kind of culture actually does really need to expand. We do need to ask these questions and have these conversations because, as we've all agreed, the development is inevitable. We need to safeguard ourselves. But I do feel a little bit better about, there will be good people out there who know what's good for us and trying to preserve us. So thanks.
Okay, no, thank you for being here. Also, I'm just curious since you did your, well, I'll ask that after stream. I'll see you guys later. Wait, but bye everyone. I'm gonna let everyone
Bye.
go. See you guys.
Bye.
Peace.
Okay, we're done. You can leave if you want. But Kitty, I saw that you did a diagram on the debate I moderated between Akata Boy and Destiny. What were your thoughts?
Woo. Oh, I gotta get my sorry, y'all. I gotta get so y'all can see my ugly face. There we go. What y'all think, man? I know it wasn't. I know you can with Wick. It could either be loud and screaming and obnoxious, and then sometimes it's chill. I think Wick might have done that on purpose. I think he picked something not too contentious, and he had a bunch of small creators on to so it just wouldn't be like your first appearance, you're getting dunked on by the chat, and then you end up hating creators you never met and stuff like that. That's the vibe I got. But I liked it, man. It was fun. I didn't expect it to be heated or anything, especially with that topic. But I really did enjoy having that panel. That was fun. I could see why people like doing Wick panels. Hopefully next time I get to scream at somebody. No. But oh man, it's still so much. It's so much we gotta get to. But I was only on that BRB because they was talking about I don't know what was gonna get said. But I am gonna be right back because y'all know I'll be thirsty, so I gotta give me something to drink while I'm here. And we're gonna get to some content. we're going to get to some content. Do I want y'all to sit in silence? I'm going to play a Metal Gear Solid review, Snake Eater review. That's what we're going to look at.
Episode of Before You Buy, that show where we give you some straight up gameplay.
All right, I'll be right back.
Impressions of the latest games releasing. As usual, it's me, Jake Baldino, and today we're talking about Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater. This is a remake of the classic Metal Gear Solid 3 from 2004, a game that was way ahead of its time, now updated a bit for 2025 technology. That's really it. This is a more straightforward one than I was expecting. Now, just so you know, some context and some bias up front. If some of you guys are newer to the channel, you might not know, but I am a diehard Metal Gear Solid fan. Way back when I played the original Metal Gear Solid 1, and I consider that game the reason why I'm here doing this stuff. That's when I became obsessed with video games. 1 is my favorite game, and I've replayed that one the most, but I consider them all my children, so it's complicated as a fan, seeing Konami coming back to remake the most beloved game in the series without series creator Hideo Kojima. That and the fact that these games are pretty sacred ground. Look, I was nervous. There's a lot of room for error. Now, there are things to nitpick here and there, but generally, this is an extremely safe, good remake. They didn't screw it up, in my eyes. I think hardcore fans will have some things that they're really cool with, a few things that might annoy them a little, but it's a solid enough presentation of the original games for new players to check out, for sure. Long story short, whenever I find myself in these situations with new players, like asking, do I play the original game or the remake of the game? Well, here, you can play the remake. I think it's a good enough representation, again. Because like I said, it's safe. It is slavishly faithful to the original. It doesn't play any games. All the hidden content is still there, all the strange Kojima oddities and awkward stuff. It feels like Metal Gear still. It's not censored or watered down. It's just the original game with control tweaks and a new coat of paint. Now, let's talk about that new coat of paint first. The visuals here. For my money, it all comes down to the character models. These new character designs look great.
Sorry if you were into that. But let's see. We got this docket is full. It was some people that wanted to talk to me about the Amanda Seales stuff, but I didn't get a response. So I didn't get a full response. And it looked good. So I can't do that yet. So if I hear for some people that I'm open to almost anybody that wants to talk about it. We could talk about the Amanda Seales situation. We could get to it. Hold on. My Discord is doing a lot. So I'm in the Discord if anybody wants to hop on and talk about that. We got a lot of stuff. Okay, so let me see what he's talking about.
And I think it absolutely heightens the experience.
Oh,
Snake
he sounds
wet,
excited.
He shows a little damage over time. Guard enemies actually kind of look like real soldiers. Hair looks realistic. Camouflage outfits show way more detail and look better than just like a texture swap. Metal Gear Solid 3's original art style.
See, I've never been a huge MGS fan, and it's just, even when as good as they look, I just never got into the game, man.
Those characters are actually still incredibly expressive for the time. But now, the better lighting and more realistic textures and faces just enhances some urgency.
Okay, so let's see what we got. I watched it, bro. I watched it because the curiosity got the best of me. I couldn't ignore it. But to be honest, it's not that I don't like MGS. I just couldn't get into it. Why don't you like popular franchises? Damn it. I know. It's like Final Fantasy, Devil May Cry, Metal Gear Solid. What What else? I'm not into Doom. Like, it's a lot of populist. Resident Evil, like, it's a lot of stuff. I play some Resident Evils, though, but it is a lot of stuff that I know that most people would shun me for not playing. Okay, we got a lot. We got Candace Owens is still crying about this lawsuit. We got Gavin Newsom interviewing Jasmine Crockett. We got a streamer that was unalived live on stream. And we got a Destiny debate that looked interesting. Let's get into Candace Owens bitching. She's crying about this lawsuit some more. So let's see why. I know there's a timestamp.
You know, some of you guys might be here for the wrong reason, because last night on Instagram, I was lamenting the fact that my postpartum hair loss began. Oh, ladies, I know you can relate when your hair just sheds the fourth.
What's crazy is Candace has stayed pregnant for the past like 4 years, and I just never seen her stomach. It's so strange. She's always like sitting down because it's her job, but she don't get her face don't get fuller, her nose don't get bigger. She don't seem to gain any weight. She's been pregnant consistently, and I just never seen her pregnant belly. Are you a woman? Are you a woman, Candace? I've never seen your pregnant belly. You keep talking about these kids. I ain't seen you. You done said you had 3 kids, and I ain't never seen your belly. The last time I saw her, she said she was pregnant. I'm like, pregnant where? There was no signs of a stomach. Well, we don't know. We don't know. Get that blood work. We don't know if you're a man, Candace. We don't know. I've never seen you. I didn't see you pop them kids out. I never seen your belly. You keep saying you're pregnant. I don't know.
Fourth month, it's after you give birth.
I need a picture of Candace Owens' belly that is not AI or a deep fake. I need a picture. The ones that are on the internet, they're all fake. They're all fake. So I need a real picture of Candace Owens' stomach while she's pregnant, damn it. I need it stat.
And it's terrible, but look, this is my style right now. This is going to be my style for like, you know, the next 8 weeks. So
Girl, I don't even look that bad. Shut up.
Just get used to it. This is me, because you can't see it. So that's what's happening here. If you came here to look at my hair loss, you're never going to see it. I found a style that works. Anyway, you guys, the morning that I had was crazy.
Imagine how much more attractive she would be if she was not an evil person.
Crazy, as all mornings over here are crazy, because I don't know, I'm not allowed to just have peace. I received
right, bro. Why mention the hair loss if it's like I'm trying to hide? Like, you think people came like, let's see Candace's hair loss. First of all, even if that was the case, obviously you wouldn't show it.
Email. Well, rather, I should say Mitchell received an email from the Financial Times this morning. You know, they were the chosen publication of Brigitte and Emmanuel when they decided to announce the lawsuit before I had ever even been served. They decided, I'm going to show the Financial Times everything that we're going to serve her with so that they can have this article ready. It's very Blake Lively, a PR move, right?
So what? It don't mean you ain't in deep doo-doo.
Anyways, I'm not going to read it in its entirety. I am going to put it up in its entirety. So if you guys want to read exactly what they said to Mitchell, because we're going to go over it. But this is the email. It reads, "Hi, Mitchell. I'm working on an article about Candace Owens that I'd like to put to her for comment. We plan to report that Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron's lawyers hired investigators to carry out open source research on Candace before filing their libel lawsuit against her in Delaware last month. That produced some findings on political links, including on Candace's ties to the French far-right personalities and her popularity in Russian state media. The investigators' remit was to document potentially defamatory statements and to detail Candace's background and profile based on publicly available information. We plan to report on some of the investigators' findings, which include that in late 2023, Xavier Poussard, the former editor-in-chief of Faits et Documents, spread the claims that Ms. Macron was born male. Candace has connections with French far-right politician Marianne Maréchal, the niece of French far-right leader Marine Le Pen, And Candace was the headline speaker at the 2019 Convention de la Droite, which means like to the right conference in Paris, organized by far-right and nationalist organizations that are close to Ms. Maréchal. So just to right away comment on that, it's still so crazy to me. I speak everywhere. I mean, I've done hundreds and hundreds of events. I have spoken in Hungary. I've spoken in the UK. That's how I met my husband speaking in the UK. And they are now saying that their proof is that they realized I spoke in Paris one time and that the niece of Marine Le Pen also spoke at that event. So that's evidence of something, obviously.
This is scraping for any type of dignity, I guess, at this point. Because, Candace, what are you talking? What do you mean that's proof? Girl, you've been on the internet at this for a year.
People in politics speaking together. What's next? CPAC? She spoke at CPAC. Oh, so other people spoke at CPAC. So there's a connection here. Then they kind of move in this email to strenuously connect me to Russia somehow, which we're going to get into in a second. But this is my favorite part. Then they say, Reform UK leader Nigel Farage was reported to have been a guest of honor at Candace's wedding to George Farber. No follow-up there. I don't even understand why Nigel Farage is getting thrown into this. Yeah, did also include the part that my husband is English. Yeah, he might have some political ties. We met at a political event. It's all starting to add up. And they continue by writing, the investigation highlighted her connection to Tucker Carlson, who has interviewed her online, and her posts supporting...
Oh, he said I lied. It was your phone?
In light of these connections, it is clear Candace is aligned with a group of right-wing political figures. Oh, what an investigation. You guys, this is breaking news.
Yeah, I don't know why her political alignment would matter.
To be clear,
I don't know why that would matter.
I'm on the right, and I have connections. I've been in politics for a while. I do, in fact, have some connections with some other right-wing political figures. This is
Mars. I disagree. I disagree. That's why I wanted to talk to people. I believe this is my thoughts on Amanda Seales. I believe that she was right for the wrong reasons. She did not do well arguing her points, even though she was on the right side of history and facts. She's on the right side of things, but for the wrong reason. Not for the wrong reasons. She did terrible articulating why she's correct in that debate. And that's my issue with that episode overall.
This is really a stunning email that I received. Lastly, they say that also on YouTube, a video in April of 2024, Xavier Poussard said that he had translated his work about Ms. Macron into English and sent it to Candace and others. And he says in that video, quote, I think she knew nothing about Brigitte Macron only a month before, and suddenly she takes on the case. Well, there you go. There must be a reason that I took on the case. Anyways, they then published the article. They give me, of course, as they always do, just a couple of hours to respond. And they moved to publish the article. The headline here is insane, okay?
We really need
to appreciate how insane this headline is. Macron's, yes, the president of France, you guys. The leader of France. A state leader. Macron's hired investigators to research U.S. influencer Candace Owens. I will be printing this out. I will get a hard copy of this.
This is so like she wants to the president of France. Like, can we not? Yes, you're not a politician. You're not the president of anything. Let's not act like you're not globally known as far as a podcaster, a political commentator, just a persona. Like, let's not act like you don't have influence, because clearly these people can't. Talking about you is like talking about God himself. So you have a strong base of people that you can influence. So this idea, I think this may be reality setting in for her. I don't know if she's vain or not, but it's just like you're acting like you're just this little podcaster that just said something and nobody should care. Bro, you've been talking about the president of France's wife saying she's a man for a year. and they told you to stop. Trump told you to stop, and you still did it. You can't be acting like you just some random person getting sued for no reason. You did something, and they suing you to shut you the fuck up.
Actually, and I'm going to frame that because that is just what?
What?
The headline's crazy. The headline is crazy, but the details beneath the headline are somehow even more insane. First, they tell us who they hired. Quote, the investigation carried out by a U.S.-based firm, Nardello & Co., was produced before the French president and first lady filed their lawsuit against Owens last month. Quote, the Macrons have brought this lawsuit with the full knowledge of who Owens is aligned with, said Dan Nardello, the executive chair of Nardello & Co. and a former New York federal prosecutor. Okay, so let's start there. Who is Dan Nardello? They tell us that he is a former federal New York prosecutor, which means he's not pocket change, you guys. Okay, he is not some little chump on the corner. He is a former federal prosecutor who has started a firm, an investigative firm. And when you go to their website, it tells us that he's involved in some pretty serious stuff. Skylar, can we pull up something from his website? I think we pulled a couple of clips of this. This is under representative matters. They tell us that he has tended to, like FTX, Sam Fried, that whole scandal. Yeah, it reads, following FTX's high-profile bankruptcy, Dan and his team were engaged by the company's new CEO.
Candace, you just like, you're just reading. She's just reading this fucking article and is like, like you ain't. So what? None of this means anything. What?
Okay.
Like.
Okay, the shirts are there. Free Emmanuel.
And then she's further antagonizing them. Holy.
And I am going all the way. We have to go all the way.
First of all, you was about going all the way. You really she trying to make money for this lawsuit, bro. Now it's just pathetic. Candace, you got bread. Stop it. You got bread. Like, you not finna sit here and act like you've resorted to selling t-shirts so you can make money for this lawsuit. This is crazy.
Insane. And now that we know what is motivating this is,
bro, it's fucking stupid, bro. Like, how you trying? Even if you was gonna sell shirts to fund this damn lawsuit, don't further antagonize them while you're selling the shirts. Like, you're just making the free Emmanuel. You're just further defaming them. This is, man, I can't wait till this shit gets settled. Oh my gosh. Again, I'm going to say this again. Even if they can't as long as the proof comes out that Brigitte is a female, win or lose the case, Candace's career is over. It should be over. I don't know what's really going to happen. Her career should be over. I don't know how strong their case is to prove defamation and libel or whatever. But once we have confirmation that Brigitte is a female, Candace's career should be over, win or lose the case. Because once we find out she's a female, even if they lose the case, Candace's gonna be like, they didn't get a dime or whatever. It don't matter. She's a female. That's what this was about, right? She's a female. You staked your career on it. Therefore, career over. You said you would stake your entire career on Brigitte being a man. So once we find out she's a female, your career should just be over. You should just go and be a full-time mom and spend every waking hour with your 3 toddlers. That's what you say makes women happy, right? Go do that.
Sheer paranoia. We realize that Emmanuel is just doing whatever Brigitte says. He had to do this because, well, we saw Brigitte beat him. Brigitte was probably like, je ne sais pas, Emmanuel.
Okay.
Go after Candace and the Americans. You know it's real.
Yeah, bro. Cardi's case was probably easier. Like Tasha was like, she said she had STDs for it. She was like, really? I don't know. I don't know. Legal. Of course, he's not on the case, but he said it's not clear cut either way. He's not saying it's impossible, but I mean, I guess there's a function of if they lost anything, but the reputation he'll hit could mean something. We'll see. But like I said, I care about it coming out that she's a female. I just want that confirmation. That's all I want. I don't care if they win.
The shadows on the wall are real. We got to free Emmanuel. I'm here for you, Emmanuel. If you're allowed to get away in the corner, and you're hiding. Maybe you're just get a second away.
It's funny how she's saying this. I feel like that's probably how she treat her husband. Like like she this could be projection on her part. Like I just feel like if I was her husband, to be in the background seeing this played out, I would lose my shit. And she probably is like, babe, we're gonna get through this. Shut the fuck up. I don't. She's a man. She's a man. Say it. Oh, she's a man. She's a man. So we will not lose a dime. We will not lose any money. I will not lose my reputation. I have a rabid fan base that will do whatever I tell them to do. And you're going to do the same. Now go wash my drawers. Like, I just feel like that's how Candace talks to her husband, because there's no way I would just sit back and let my wife ruin her fucking career over transvestigations.
From Brigitte on your phone and you're watching this series, we're going to save you. We're going to save you. All right, you guys, I want to tell you one more thing about this story because I did not appreciate this. I went back and I've been rereading Becoming Brigitte because obviously I'm being sued by them and I want to make sure that I'm understanding
that I can remember all my lies,
their lawsuit arguments, and weighing it against Xavier Poussard's reporting. And this was one element that I missed. And speaking to Xavier about this lawsuit, he was saying to me, what's crazy is that they are producing as evidence in the lawsuit photos that we know are fake. And he kept
God,
original photo that Daily Mail that got me interested in this.
Oh my God.
1953 Amiens.
Candace, what makes you the arbiter of what a fake photo is? Like, what makes you the one that can say what photos is fake and which ones is real? How do you have the keys to make this distinguishing? I just want to know why you can, can you lay out why it's fake? I'm not the technological or photography professional, anything like that. But if I am going to say a picture is fake, I can say why. She just keeps saying, just like the fucking flat earthers, all those pictures are fake. What makes them fake? Please explain what makes them fake. It's just, they're fake. Like, come on.
Family photo of the truck.
Okay, yes, let's get into it. The
1953 Amiens family photo of the Trognose. And he's like, we know.
Yo, Politiscape. What's up, man? Appreciate you for coming through.
It's a fake photo. And I guess I kind of missed this somehow or didn't fully appreciate the second part of why he was saying this. I understood first was that when this photo was appearing in the media as proof that Brigitte Macron really did exist, and they were alleging that Brigitte, and you can pull this photo up, was the little girl in the lap who I don't think Brigitte looks anything like.
Imagine trying to say it. Wait, first of all, imagine trying to say your 70-year-old self looks nothing like your freaking 2-year-old self. Honestly, at this point, fuck it. Yeah, okay, I don't look sorry, I'm 70-something years old. I don't look how I looked when I was 2. Like, give me a break. And honestly, I see it in the facial structure. I don't know why she's saying that, because I do see it in the facial structure. And again, the age, Candace's claim is that this boy on the left is actually Brigitte. The ages of the family don't line up if that's Brigitte. The ages don't line up, and you don't have a strong argument for who this baby is. The ages don't line up for this young boy to be younger than his sisters and older brother. So who is this young baby then if it's not Brigitte? And how are you saying a 70-year-old woman don't look like herself when she was 2? Like, what type is that? Is that really what we're going with now? I don't know. That don't look anything like her. Bitch, if I showed you me at 2, you wouldn't think it looked like me either, probably. Get the fuck out of here.
And not the person on the left who looks just like Brigitte.
Yeah, sorry, a girl looks like her brother. Yeah, how does that happen? You just look like your brother. I mean, come on, that's your brother. Why would you look like him at all?
I knew that they had removed. You see that lamp behind Jean-Michel Trogneux? That lamp is sometimes there and it's sometimes not. And we don't know why that is. And
Candace fuck around and did that. And I don't even know how true that is. Maybe it is.
In the lawsuit version, do they have the lamp or they don't have a lamp? They don't have a lamp. So there's actually a lamp.
Oh. So, well, to be fair, I've seen like a super, People probably are messing with the picture. Candace doesn't, I guess she's new to the internet. She doesn't know that people will fucking send you off. And first of all, what the fuck do the lamp being missing have to do with anything? And everything else in the picture's the same. That don't even fucking matter. It don't even matter. So I've seen pictures, I've seen a super like, what's the word? They enhanced this family picture heavily. And it looks modern. They colored it and everything. Where is it at? I had it in I think I used it in my video where I covered this. I'm not finna go through that. But regardless, that lamp being there and not being there, it means nothing because this family structure is still the fucking same.
In that photo, in a lawsuit, embedded in my lawsuit, they don't have a lamp. So I knew it was touched there.
Yeah, the lamp is in it. The lamp is in one picture and the lamp isn't in the other. So how could that really be a real picture? All these people are fake. Like, what the fuck?
Part of this, which is Teethgate. So Xavier Poussard, who exhausted years researching this, finally got his hands on school pictures of Jean-Michel Trogneau.
He said, I look exactly the same.
The little boy on the left that they didn't want to acknowledge. And they actually removed the lamp from the photo because they didn't want to draw attention, seemingly, to Jean.
This is the... Yo, there's no way you, as a fan of Candace, can watch this and not think it's cope. Like, it's no way you can watch this and not think this is cope, bro. Why? They removed the lamp from behind him so he wouldn't draw attention to him. The boy is still there. No, I never saw this lamp thing. I never noticed it. But you know what? That same boy is still there. And that has no proof. There's no proof that that's Brigitte all of a sudden. Like, cannot believe this woman. This is she's going insane. I guess they moved the lamp so it wouldn't draw attention. Bitch, it's still all their kids in the picture. It don't matter.
Michelle Trogneau, which is what your eye looks at. You're like, wait, that looks like Brigitte, not the little kid in the lap. And
what? It's so easy to say that. Not the little kid on the lap. But her age lines up to when that photo was supposed to have taken. Her age lines up with the photo being taken. That boy was like 12 years old and she's like 2. Oh, okay. Bro did tell me the audio was low earlier. I don't know what. Oh, I see why.
In the lap, let's remove the lamp so their attention is not drawn to that. Well, Jean-Michel Trogneau, if you see that photo, look at
you cannot sit here and say, Candace, you really believe that removing that photo, removing that lamp is to not draw attention to the boy. If you don't want to draw attention to him, remove him or something. This is fucking stupid. I just can't believe her. Like, Candace, like, come on, bro. You shouldn't even talk about this anymore. Just let the lawsuit play out. Oh, my God. He said speculate about him being gay. Yeah, speculate. If you want to just make up shit, just say he gay or something. Like, come on. This is crazy.
Look at this. He's got perfect teeth. And the reason why they gave him...
And she barely got teeth. What the...
These perfect teeth was to make... he's got perfect teeth. But when we get the actual photos from his schooling, the 3 years, which cover 1952, 1953, and 1954 that Xavier was able to get his hands on, Jean-Michel Trogneau doesn't have perfect teeth. His teeth are retouched there, okay? These are the school photos. Jean-Michel Trogneau is in the front there. Here's another school photo. Jean-Michel Trogneau is...
Wait, you could have circled him or something. Where is he? I'm assuming she's talking about this the left side, the third boy. I'm assuming she's talking about she said in the front, the third boy. For one, he looks younger in this picture than the one we just saw. So yes, if he don't have all his teeth, yes, they're not gonna be the fucking same. Candace, he's definitely younger in that other picture. Right? She's like, where's your pictures of your life growing up? Where's your pictures? Where's your pictures? It's like, bro, motherfuckers don't have pictures like that. I mean, to be fair, she got him, but he's also older too.
Michel Trogneau is in the front there. Here's another school photo.
Jean-Michel
Trogneau is on the far right here. He doesn't have his mouth open.
Right. So what the fuck did you use that picture for if it doesn't prove anything?
Then in this photo, which is right there in the front on the left side. Sorry, guys. We should have maybe circled him.
Yeah.
But
again, first of okay. This looks like it says 54 to 55. Okay. I need to see when this photo was taken. I need to see. Oh, let me just see how old she is. In 55. So this picture was taken apparently in 54. And so this is Candace. Candace just defeated herself in her own argument. Do y'all want to see the year Brigitte Macron was born? This photo was in 1954, right? Brigitte Macron was born in 53. Why are you telling us this little boy that's about 8 years old, 9 years old, is Brigitte Macron, who was born in 53, and the photo is from 1954. That is all the proof you need to know that Candace Owens is a liar and a piece of shit. Like, I cannot believe her. This is ridiculous. You're sitting here showing us a photo of her brother in 1954, and she was born in 1953. Why are we still talking about this? Right, minimal research. This is your proof that you're trying to say this is Brigitte, and the picture say 54, and the girl was born in 53. Bro, oh man, this is gonna be a short. This is insane. Candace, you have debunked your fucking self. That's how stupid you are. But now it's gonna be, she wasn't born in 53. You ever heard of a cryogenic machine? She wasn't really born in 53. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. An argument, look at his teeth. Look at his teeth. His teeth aren't straight. And I'm certain that these photos are before that family photo. He looks older in that family photo, meaning he probably lost all of his damn baby teeth and his teeth grew in straight. Lucky him.
Boys that are squatting down. You can
Holy
see
shit.
Like Brigitte. He is the second boy in the row of the kids.
What's
that
good,
are sitting in
Bunny?
the chair here. And when you get up close, you can see in the two photos.
Imagine hanging your argument on the teeth of a child when they're still losing teeth. Like, imagine that being your argument. And then all I gotta do is, oh, this photo was taken in 1954. Cool. When was she born? 1953. Oh, well, that can't be Brigitte sitting in a classroom. Oh my God, we're talking about Candace the fucking coon.
Photos that Jean-Michel Trogneau is like missing his front teeth. They're like crooked. It's like
he was younger. He's clearly younger than that photo. That boy was like 13 or 12 in that picture, bro. That boy was like in...
Like, I don't know, like,
God.
I don't know how to describe it.
The family photo, he's clearly older than these.
Fell out. And there's also
shameless.
Photo,
Right? PTJ. Imagine showing a photo that shows the year the photo was taken, and then you cross-reference it with the year she was born, and it don't line up. Like she has to argue that she wasn't born the year she was born in. Like this is insane.
Yeah, another photo of Jean-Michel Trogneau.
Yeah, 55 to 66 the next year, which is probably still before that photo was taken, and his teeth are straight. And even if his teeth, you can't see this boy teeth for real in these pictures. Stop.
No, school days, and so he had this.
Oh God.
Obviously got.
Hey, bro, if this ends the conversation. I cannot wait to see Candace fans try to argue this fucking this conversation. I would love to see them argue this. You full-blown got your crew to post when her brother took pictures at school, showed the year. We know Brigitte was born in 53, and it makes no sense how that could be her. And you're still running with this narrative.
Really close up to the mouth and determined that they.
And you're sitting here talking about teeth. You're sitting here saying, yeah, his teeth wasn't as straight as his was when he got older, when he was probably still losing his teeth. Are you kidding me?
Retouched that image to give Jean-Michel
Retouched the image.
Look at this. This is incredible. From the taken from the Becoming Brigitte.
I am dumbfounded, bro. I didn't know. I didn't know the cope got this deep. Like, holy shit.
You get that photo that I sent you that shows that the reason that they did that is because actually when Brigitte Macron goes off to La Providence School, she has the same teeth as Jean-Michel Trogneau. Like Brigitte Macron got her teeth fixed so that it looks like super straight now, but actually her teeth are completely missing when she's the teacher at La Providence School, which makes her look even more like Jean-Michel Trogneau. I had totally missed this, and it's incredible to see that. Skylar, let me know if you're able to pull that photo. I texted you. I don't know if you have it, of the three parts of the book.
It says she opened all the pickle jars.
She looks so much like the real Jean-Michel Trogneau, which is not in the retouched photo. And so it's really incredible to see this, that they have been working on this for such.
Candace, why didn't you point out the year those photos was taken? Why you ain't say nothing about it, huh? Why you ain't mention that?
Such a long time that they knew they would have to go back and edit that initial Amiens photo to try to, yeah, here it is. So that's the close-up right there on the left.
Yeah, let's compare a child while they're losing their teeth to when they have their teeth. Yes. Let's compare their teeth. And then when she's older, wait, first of all, we're going to act like people weren't terrible. People don't lose teeth all the time and have money to get them fixed later, which is probably what she did. This is insane.
Left.
This is insane.
Of Jean-Michel Trogneau at school. And then you see on the right, that's the real photo of Brigitte.
Why are you saying real? My daughter is missing both of her two front teeth right now. When she's probably 12, they're gonna be there when she's older. Like, what are we talking about? He has a gap with his teeth, with his baby teeth. Kids be losing teeth up until like 10 years old. Like, what is happening? Why are you comparing when he's losing teeth to when he got them? He is clearly significantly older in these two pictures.
Macron at school on that left-hand side, the second photo there, and the teeth are so similar. So when Brigitte became there was an article that was covering how she got her teeth done. And the reason why she got her teeth done is because she doesn't want to look like herself, and herself is.
Imagine telling somebody they get their teeth done because they don't want to look like themselves. Candace, you are the dumbest person on the internet. Like, there's no way you watch this and be like, yeah, she's spot on. Like, this is insane. She got her teeth done to not look like herself. Not just because aesthetically people want their teeth to be nice, not because self-conscious, your own sense of self, you don't, what's the word I'm looking for? You're not as self-confident in yourself when you have bad teeth. Not, is that one of the when people can afford it, one of the first things they do is fix their teeth, whether they get braces or dentures or veneers. Now, like, now you fix your teeth because you don't want to look like yourself. I've never heard this ever, and I don't think anybody would ever stand by this type of statement. This is crazy. Candace Owens is insane. This is the worst argument ever, and she debunked herself.
Jean-Michel Trogneau, obviously. Anyways, it's incredible to see.
Yeah, she's too deep. Like, there's no turning back. You cannot go back from where she's at. And I don't know if anybody at her job process, like her tech person or her, like, damn, this ain't 54. She was born in 53. Damn, I don't know if that'll work. Fuck it, they ain't gonna notice it. Let's put it up anyway. I don't even want to read the comments.
Teethgate. By the way, speaking of Teethgate, somebody emailed me. And
Teethgate. Like, this is not a thing. You got it.
Seized by this. And to really show you how committed we are not to conspiracies, despite their argument, there's a scandal going on with the Latvian prime minister. They are alleging that the Latvian prime minister...
I'm done. I'm done with Candace. I'm super done with Candace. That's all I need for today. That's all I fucking need. This is it. Y'all make sure this will go viral when I post this video, not this live. Make sure y'all show that to everybody. I'm gonna make a short. I'm gonna make it a video, of course, and I'm gonna make a short from that section. This is absurd. This is ridiculous. Like, this is crazy. She's so full of shit that she's so careless about this that she don't know she debunked herself in her own fucking video, talking about some teeth of a boy losing his teeth versus when he got them. This is how you know his teeth are straight. His teeth were straight when he was 12, but when he was 7, look, they weren't straight. Duh. Oh my God. Oh my fucking gosh. I cannot. Y'all, I'm not even like up playing, not downplaying. I'm not even up playing like my reaction right now. Like, dead ass, that was the craziest shit I've ever seen. The fact that she just debunked herself so quickly and just thinks she still has a case is insane. But nonetheless, we finna watch Watt's reaction to some content that I sent him. I said, bro, I got something I think that you would okay, wait. I got something you might want to react to. So I hit bro like, yeah, go ahead. I sent him this guy's TikTok, and let's get into it.
Guys, I didn't think it was possible. I really did not think it was humanly possible to find somebody that was an even bigger trash panda than the Hodge twins. But thanks to my boy Logix, we have come across somebody on TikTok that is the biggest trash panda that I have ever seen before in my life. And when I say to you, this man's content, literally all of his content is literally about black people and how terrible they are, I am not joking. Guys, this is Andre Williams. This is his
Andre
TikTok.
Williams.
We are going to just briefly look at some of his videos. But before we do, let me just show you the covers. You guys see them? Look at this. Being black in America is the worst thing in the world. Black people exaggerate on the racism they experience. There is no actual discrimination in hiring against black people.
What? My definition is the... What the fuck?
Should be more grateful for being an American. Black people haven't accomplished anything significant in the last 20 years, and so on and so on and so on.
You can tell that level of self-hate is beyond intentional. Like, that level of going against black people is like, these aren't just like thoughts that you have that you think black people can improve on. You're like, what? How can I stretch the realities of today to just fit a narrative? His hairline tells everything you need to know.
So at this point, you guys pretty much get the picture. Now you understand why I said this man is a trash panda. I don't want to say the actual C word because the video will get demonetized.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I just may have an aneurysm during this video. Without further ado, let's look at some of this guy's takes. Let's see what he has to say about black people, since that's all he talks about. That's all he has to offer. Is just
hey, imagine that too. Like, imagine gaining a following and making money off literally just after literally just it just hit me, trash panda. I didn't get it at first. When Random said it, and now I'm like, oh, trash panda. It's the trash version of a panda. Holy shit. But imagine gaining a following and making money off of just strictly shitting on black people as a black person. A white person can't do it, so I'm sure most of his following is white, and they're just like, yes, one of them is saying it.
Constantly bashing.
Yeah, bro, it just hit me.
Nothing better else to talk about. That's it.
Let's get into it.
Black people exaggerate on the racism they experience. Let's listen to what this guy has to say, shall we?
Younger black people say that they experience racism. Most of them are.
Before we get into this, I just saw this comment. Growing up white in Memphis, Tennessee, I can promise you I experienced more racism than any black person there or in Atlanta, Georgia did growing up. Promise that. I was called white boy my whole life. Now, what do you think will happen if I turn around and refer to anyone as black boy? Would that go over smooth? And then somebody said, are we dead ass right now? This man said I was called white boy. Boy, that was a compliment. What are we talking about?
Are fucking lying. It's often exaggerated and they're not really being serious at all. They'll take anything and call it racist. They'll take that you looking at them funny is you being racist.
Yeah, Random. This is right up your alley.
At all. They'll take anything and call it racist. They'll take that you looking at them funny is you being racist.
Me personally, I'm not saying that it never happened before. I never encountered a black person being stared at by a white person and them saying, man, they racist. I've never encountered that. Me personally, if I see a white person staring at me, I'm going to question as to why they're staring at me, but I'm just not going to assume that they're racist. What the fuck are you actually talking about? Where are you getting this information?
Making it up.
People today are not experiencing the level of racism that our grandparents experienced. You are not going through anything significant and nothing harsh. This is the most comfortable time you could ever be in this country being black. The only problem is...
That's true, but that doesn't mean racism doesn't happen. I agree. This is the best time to be black in America. That don't mean people don't have shit happen to them.
Other black people will make it harder for you to exist.
Hold on. Let me see if I actually understand what this jackass is saying. So, just because we did not face the same type of racism that our grandparents and our great-grandparents faced, i.e. Jim Crow, that means that racism just simply doesn't exist? What are you talking about? The Triple K clan are still a thing today. Bro, we still have sundown towns. Are you saying just because it isn't on the level of Jim Crow, it really isn't racism? What the fuck are you talking about? Racism is racism. Oh, Jesus Christ, the heart palpitations or something. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Guys, I hate logics.
Black people are not discriminated in hiring.
Woo.
Just because you're black doesn't mean you're going to get the job. Just because you apply because you're black doesn't mean you're guaranteed the job.
This is just two totally separate arguments to say that black, you're supposed to get a job because you're black and not getting a job for being black. Those are two totally separate things.
Every business, every company is going to discriminate on what kind of people they want to work for them. And I don't find it to be racist when Asians hire Asians or Arabs hire Arabs.
These is totally separate conversations. Oh my God.
Everyone else does the same thing.
He mixing up like 3 different conversations in one.
I would go as far as...
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. That's one of the reasons as to why DEI even became a thing. And before we even get into the deeper conversation of DEI, no, DEI does not mean you hire unqualified people. It literally just means you need to open up your fucking applicant pool.
Say that black people discriminate the most in the workplace in hiring and also just being employees. If you're not black, and especially if you're white, good luck finding a job in a predominantly black area.
I have never...
The thing is, PTJ, with that, it's some people that was born here that feel the same way, though. That's the thing. We saw with the Amanda Seales thing, she definitely exposed that old boy was an immigrant, but it's just like, it's still people that was born here that think the same way. Hodge twins, like, I don't know if they this extreme, but you know, it's still people that was born here to think like that. Oh, he is an immigrant. I guess maybe the extreme versions is the immigrants, huh?
Seriously don't understand where he's getting this information from, because I've never, ever once in my life gotten an interview and instantly thought, man, I'm gonna get this job just because I'm black. Hell yeah, and I'm black, y'all. And I'm black, y'all.
And I'm black and I'm black, y'all.
I never fucking said that. That never happened. I never felt like I was owed anything just because I was black. What do you talk? If you asked 20 black people on the street right now, have they ever felt like they were going to get a job just because they were black? I'm willing to guarantee all of them
99% would say no.
Would say no. I never thought that though. That's stupid. Who thinks like that? And time out, didn't he kind of contradict himself here? Because he said discrimination against blacks doesn't happen. And then he went and said blacks do the same thing. So which one is it? Does discrimination exist or does it not? And for you to say that.
Or are you just saying that black people discriminate, nobody else does, even though you already said Asians hire Asians?
Doesn't exist is so freaking irresponsible. Hey guys, I don't want to get too anecdotal here just because like I know my experiences don't freaking matter, but trust me, that shit happens.
I was gonna say it matters when especially if somebody's making an absolute statement. Like we don't want to use anecdotes to make generalized statements. So anecdotes are fully acceptable when somebody makes a overarching argument to say that this is the norm. This is what covers this whole topic. So if you say there's no such thing as discrimination for jobs, and you'd be like, I didn't get a job because I was discriminated on for my race and I know that because of X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? But I get it, why. I know that, like, you know, generally you don't want to make anecdotes to. You don't want to make it to make a entire broad point, but you want to do it to disprove somebody saying something of the opposite. That's when anecdotes are useful.
There have been literal studies on the subject matter. There are,
and like I hate when people use anecdotes to like disprove, or when people use an anecdote to they use an anecdote to disprove a general statement, even though you never made it all inclusive. That's the problem. Like, when you make it all-inclusive, anecdotes are good. But when you say, like, well, yeah, there's a lot of black people in poverty, and they'd be like, well, I know a black doctor. Bitch, I didn't say nobody makes it. So why are you saying that? I know that there's black doctors. I have one, bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
some studies out here, and I'll even link some in the description down below, but there have been literal studies that have reported those individuals with black sounding names do not get called back as much.
Yeah, that's one of the most famous studies there is, and it's been replicated.
As individuals with white sounding names. That right there is suggesting racial discrimination within hiring. For you to say that just doesn't happen is fucking crazy. And keep in mind, I think it's totally fine to criticize your own community, the black community, whatever. But it has to come from a good place. It has to come from a genuine place.
Not Dude and not Myron.
This is some of the most disingenuous bullshit that I have ever heard on the goddamn internet, and that is saying a lot. Oh, I'm sure this is going to be a good one.
Oh, shit.
Never freed the slaves.
Okay, so it looks like a lot of the comments that are at the top are disagreeing with him. The last one just all said photos. I don't know what the photo said. It was probably some trash panda stuff. But this one should stay free. I don't know what that means. And does anybody know what this fucking dying rose thing means on TikTok? People post, when I'm new to TikTok, like using it heavily. People be posting stuff and there's this rose dying. I don't know what that means. If anybody can help me, Uncle Ruckus, bro, what the fuck? So I wonder if he has a strong following that dislikes him, but why would you follow him? I got callbacks because of my name and they are very surprised to see a black woman. That's funny. Your name probably Haley or something. You ain't got to say it, of course, but I'm being silly.
Listen.
Maybe we should never have freed the fucking slaves. People are getting to a point in this country where they're asking the question.
Like this, I don't have to hear what he's finna say, but I'm gonna play it. But this is how you know this is forced. We should have never freed the slaves, nigga. You was on TikTok saying that, and you wouldn't be able to if they didn't. Like, it's just a forced argument that you don't have to make, buddy. You didn't have to say your name. Pam, I don't know if I know a black Pam. That's hilarious. You're right. Besides from Martin, I don't know if I know a black Pam. You're right. If I hear Pam, I'm going to probably assume a white person. You're correct.
Never freed the fucking slaves. People are getting to a point in this country where they're asking the question, was it worth it? When black people sit back and
Nobody's
act
asking
so
that.
ungratefully, acting as if America is the worst place to live, or that being in this country is the worst thing to ever happen to black people, people are going to ask that question. Black people should be grateful that we live in this country, that we've been afforded the opportunity to exist in one of the most powerful nations in the entire world. If we're just going to sit here and shit on America, shit on the existing.
There's a way to make this argument without saying we shouldn't have freed the slaves. Notice he's not making arguments of why you shouldn't free slaves. He's just saying that we have a lot of opportunity in America. This isn't making the case that we shouldn't free slaves. This is stupid. Oh shit, Bunny, you streaming for your students only?
The sacrifices that many people, black, white, Latino, whatever, have made for the people in this country.
I am so sick of this rhetoric. I am so sick of this rhetoric that black people are constantly shitting on America. That's not the case. Just because you live in a country, that doesn't necessarily mean that you cannot have your own gripes about it. That does not mean you cannot seek for it to be better.
Right.
Just because we live here, it doesn't mean that it's fucking perfect. Let's continue.
Going to shit on that, and people are going to ask that question, was it worth it? Freeing the slaves and doing all this work.
Wow.
Black people's racial currency is running out. People are getting tired of the excuses. They're getting tired of the bullshit. And guess what? We're going to hit a point where it's either do something or get the fuck out. Maybe we should never.
You know what's crazy about this?
Fuck?
You know what's so interesting about this? Him saying we should have never freed the slaves. You're black. You are
exactly
black,
like how are
dummy.
you
If
making
never
this
freed the
argument?
slaves, you indeed would currently be a slave. What kind of Uncle Tom shit is this? This is worse than the Hodge twins. This is worse than Myron Gaines. What's going on? You hate black people this much to the point where you are
Bro, never miss a chance to say Myron Gaines.
literally saying, hey man, they should have never freed the goddamn slaves. I wouldn't mind being a slave myself. I deserve it. What the
Fucking
fuck
goofy.
are you talking about? Or does he not consider himself black? And if he doesn't, that would beg the question of, have you fucking looked in the mirror? Black supremacy is worse than white supremacy. I'm laughing because I'm like, is black supremacy even a thing? Have white people ever been in fear of getting lynched? And no, I'm not saying I have.
Bunny, I agree. I think a lot of these people, just like Candace, as we was just covering her, Candace is too dug in to go back. The Hodge twins made too much money to go back. Myron made too much money to go back. Myron can't flip. He wouldn't have an audience. He can't flip. But I think there's an avenue of redemption that there's a certain group of your audience that's willing to grow with you if you made a flip to just realize how stupid you fucking are.
Have white people
It'll be
ever
hard
had
though.
to
You
march
already
and
lost money
protest
on YouTube.
for their civil rights. So what the hell is black supremacy? I obviously could be wrong, but I do not think most black people feel superior.
You right, Watts. They don't, but there is a such thing as black supremacy, and that's what Dr. Umar is. There's a sect of black people that they call it black nationalists. They want everything to be black. Not all of them are like, some of them want to eradicate white people. Some. I don't think that's the majority, but there's black people that think like we are better human beings than white folks, and everybody needs to know that. You know, when they be like, "Oh, we're better athletes, we're taller, we're stronger. That's why they used our bodies." Like that's what that's what Get Out was centered on. Like they think like black people are superior beings than white people
To other races. That's not a thing.
Black supremacy is far worse than white supremacy. In fact, white supremacy doesn't even fucking exist. You can't even.
Oh, see, like this is what I like. It's just the extra mile to just be egregiously wrong. Look at Watts. Like it's just like you're just going the extra mile to be as antagonistic as possible. Why you have to say white supremacy don't exist? Like, come on, man. Like, this is ridiculous.
How? The Triple K group still exists to this day. How? that particular group alone thinks they're superior to all other races.
She said this is bait. Like, it's pure bait. It has to be. It has to be.
White supremacy does not exist.
It has to be.
Again, we still have sundown towns. How does this? What are you talking about?
I get white people to say they're proud to be white or to exert that with any kind of force, but you can with black people. Black people are violently proud about being black and are hostile to anybody that criticizes black people. We're the only people that sit back and say that we created everything. We invented everyone and everything.
Because it's often because all of our contributions are often overlooked. What are you talking about? It's like he knows this, man. He knows this.
Yeah, he does
That's
know
why
this.
People
He
have
knows
to say,
this.
oh yeah, I'm proud to be black. You know, I'm proud to do this. I'm proud of that, etc., etc. Because we have been constantly overlooked. It's really not that hard of a concept.
PTJ, I ain't gonna lie, it's harder than you think. Like I had stopped my when I was covering that boy ranting for vengeance when he did his Fantastic Four review. I didn't even finish it. I couldn't. It was just the racism was just too much. I just couldn't do it.
To understand, but he knows this and he's being disingenuous.
And also, there's a point to where these people do need to be exposed because I don't know TikTok's terms and conditions. I know that they blocked a video that I made about Ben Shapiro when he was lying about George Floyd. And they blocked it, and I appealed it, and they blocked it again. They were saying I think they were saying you can't. It was about hate speech or something like that. And I'm like, I'm calling out Ben for lying, and they said in the video, I don't know if it's because I said I don't care, and I named a bunch of disabilities and illnesses. I was like, I don't care if you anemic, have high blood pressure, a paraplegic. I said a bunch of disabilities. I don't care if you have all those things. If I got thrown from a car and break my neck, the cause of death was the car ejection. And they said it was hate speech or something. Meanwhile, this man has an entire following off of shitting on black people. I'm not a cancel culture person, but is that fair? I don't feel like that's fair. Mind you, that video was doing numbers before they blocked it. I had a nice little pop on TikTok when I did that, and then it got blocked. And I'm like, what in this video is hate speech? And I feel like they were saying because I named all them disabilities that I was like downplaying that group or something. But he shits on black people every video, and he has a channel. So I don't get it. That I actually should point this out. This actually might be some content I might make on TikTok. Fuck you talking about? Like
on purpose.
White people out here that are popular and successful saying these things on a national platform. We make music and movies about how we don't like white people. You don't see white people doing the same thing. We vote for.
That's true. I do think there's. First of all, let's get this out the way. When you are the oppressed, you do get leeway with your racism or prejudice or bigotry. We can't pretend like that doesn't exist. It does exist. When you are the oppressed, you get more leeway to take jabs. You could punch up. You can't be a white person and say you don't like black people. I don't like when black people get on here and say I don't like white people. That shit makes me uncomfortable. I legitimately don't like that. It's weird. I don't know why anybody would do that. I don't really engage in like jokes and stuff. It is what it is. It's jokes. But then like if you legitimately like I don't like white people, like that type of stuff, that bothers me. I don't like that. But people are afforded that opportunity more when they're not the oppressor or not the oppressed, I should say. I don't want to say that people are oppressing right now. That do exist. But you're saying it's worse than white supremacy, but you also said white supremacy don't exist. But when it does exist, it is far more detrimental to others in the capacity that it does exist. So being able to say like, man, white people be oppressing us on the internet is not the same as like keeping people from moving into a neighborhood. Like those two things aren't the same.
Candace, just because
we do not make movies about how we hate white people. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. And and I swear to God, they better not be talking about Sinners or Get Out because the movies ain't about hating white people. I hope he's not just it's disliking bad people. It's about bad people.
Okay. Let's say
I don't know who you're talking about, Bunny.
Hey, I'm going to say that he's specifically talking about slave movies, right? slave movies. Let's say that
you shouldn't empathize with slave owners regardless.
That he's talking about that. Now, I will be the first one to say I am fucking sick of movies around slavery. I am sick.
Yeah, and they've died down on that. I don't know the last time we got one. They ain't really. I mean, Sinners ain't a slave movie, but I guess it was like right after that shit. But
sick of it. I do not want to see another slavery movie anytime soon. However, the only reason why those movies even exist is because slavery happened. What are you talking about? Black people acknowledging that slavery wasn't a thing does not equate to, oh, we hate white people. And this is the same stupid rhetoric that's going on with the Smithsonian museums right now. Just because a light is shined on slavery, that doesn't necessarily mean we want to live in the past. But I really do not think that we should forget how far we have come as a country. So many people have said this time and time again, and my grandmother has said this to me a lot of times as well, my great-grandmother. If you are not aware of the past, then you are doomed to repeat it in the present.
They're black, and we encourage other black people to do so. You can openly criticize white people in the workplace and here on this platform and many others. And
Who openly criticize? What are you talking about?
The workplace is crazy. I don't unless you call in like YouTube and TikTok the workplace, you ain't criticizing white people for their whiteness at like fucking Burlington or some shit. Like, no, you can't do that and get away with it. No.
Who criticizes white people in the workplace?
Right, that's not happening.
Criticizing white people in the workplace?
That is not happening.
Give me an example.
Or if it is, there is fucking reprimand for it.
What are you talking about? I feel like he's referring to a specific situation here. I would love to hear him elaborate.
If there was a system of white supremacy, nobody would be able to do that if they're black. If there was a system of white supremacy, there wouldn't be any successful black people whatsoever in very limited numbers. If there was a system of white supremacy, you would never have had a black president, black Supreme Court justices, black mayors.
I know that now. I don't know if you notice this, Watts. Like, he puts off a super flagrant title at the top and it doesn't really argue it. He's saying a bunch of other shit, and it's so much unrelated stuff from the title at the top that you can't. He tries to. He keeps throwing shit out. You don't know where to tackle these talking points because it's not even necessarily what the title of the video is. You said black supremacy is worse than white supremacy. Now you're talking about people criticizing white people in the workplace, which you didn't even demonstrate. You're just saying it, and now you're talking about
if there was a system of white supremacy.
A system of white supremacy. White supremacy doesn't necessarily have to be a system. It's a belief. It can be a system too, but there's a thought of white supremacy as an ideology as well, my nigga. Well, not my nigga, but it's a thought as well.
You would never have had a black president, black Supreme Court justices.
Damn, you cut out. You went from 37 minutes to 13.
Black mayors, black governors, and so on. Next time you see someone say,
it doesn't mean. Logics, I hate you so much. I actually hate you. Why did you send me this goddamn? I was about to say the other thing, but I hate you so much, bro.
There's a system of white supremacy. Share this video and my content to them.
You guys thought
you hate me, but I bet you this video go up.
I was joking when I said he was worse than Myron Gaines and the Hodge. No, he 1000% is. This is unprecedented. This is a different.
It's about who need friends.
Honestly, I don't even know what else to say about him within this video, but there is one thing that I really wanted to point out. You're so concerned about black people and black culture when the thing that you need to be concerned the most about
is that motherfucking hairline.
Goddamn hairline. Why is it that your hairline looks like it put in its 2 weeks notice and just never came back? Why does your hairline look like it got hit with a restraining order from your forehead? It's literally halfway to the back of your neck already, just waiting for the rest to catch up. Did your barber line you up with a Blu-ray disc? Your hairline looked like it got drafted and it just never came home. Your hairline is still on the beaches of Normandy today. I find it so ironic that this man is out here talking about black people and discrimination like his hairline wasn't the first one to get denied equal opportunity.
As a nigga with a bad hairline, I can appreciate them jokes, man. Oh shit. Oh, she supports eating disorders. That's crazy. Damn, that's fucked up. Oh God, yo, Wise, you gotta that, and then you play the ether in the back. Please, whenever is deserving, please keep these roast. Please keep the roast when they are deserving, my nigga. Oh yes, good shit. Good shit. As a black man, can anybody direct me to Oksana to the KKK, the Kanye Kool-Aid band? Clan, oh shit. Man, I can't direct you. I'm sorry. As a black man, I cannot direct you. I am sorry. Oh God. Whew. I have to relieve bodily fluids. What we gonna do next? I think in my head I knew what I was gonna do next. I forgot. Okay, let me look at my list. We'll probably cover one more thing for tonight, man. We probably cover this streamer that that got unalived on a stream. I have to relieve myself, but I'm not gonna leave y'all with nothing. Google Maps can't either. Damn, I wanna, bro. Okay, damn, bro. I wanna watch this. Excuse me. It looks like, okay, MTR goes off on ABBA and Preach for dissing Red Pill. ABBA and Preach, I don't even know if they diss Red Pill. One of the guy that does the street interviews where he interviews people and asks them questions, ABBA and Preach reacted to him doing that. And it was a normal guy talking about how he got married, divorced, and wants to marry again. Appreciate you, PTJ. Have fun. And he wants to marry again, and ABBA and Preach reacted to that. MTR reacted to it, but I didn't finish watching that. I didn't finish watching MTR's reaction, so I don't know what he said. And then Young Don reacted to that reaction. Damn, Inception. But, okay. Abrego Garcia released from jail. I want to play something for y'all while I relieve myself. I have to go so bad. Hold on, y'all. Drake backstabs academics in mall after giving Bobby. I'm going to just play this, y'all.
YouTube.
I'll be right back.
Get ready. You know what to do, Chick.
So look at Chick Smooth. Hey, Chick Smooth. Appreciate all the coverage that you've been doing. I've been watching your shit for a while. I just subscribed to your shit too, bro.
Well, here we go, you guys. I'm sure nobody is going to be surprised by Drake once again telling the culture in hip-hop, yo, I'm not rocking with you guys. Not only is Drake refusing to collaborate with American artists right now, but Drake is also refusing to do interviews with anybody in the culture. After Drake and Bobby Althoff did their very controversial first interview, looks like Drake and Bobby have once again linked up for another podcast. For her new podcast called Not This Again.
A much more refined, poised, and pleasant podcast.
Pleasant? I don't know about that.
I know. I
think that was just a word you.
I'm trying to get you brand deals.
Oh, so you want me to be more pleasant?
No, I'm just saying.
That's not what I need to do.
I was trying to pitch.
Is
welcome
that what I need to get more brand deals, be more pleasant?
Hey now. Welcome to a much more scenic, serene, and solidarity.
What are you getting at?
Welcome to a much more scenic and serene and serious. It's not going to be serious, though.
Is it not? I think it is.
Welcome to a much more scenic, serene, sexy.
No. Try it again. Run it back.
I liked it.
I don't like that one.
Welcome to a much more scenic, serene, equally sickening.
Okay, maybe I should just do it.
Okay, good. Okay.
Welcome to the first episode of my new podcast that no one asked for.
Not this again.
Now, a couple weeks ago, Bobby Altoff actually announced the end of her previous podcast. That podcast was called The Really Good Podcast. Bobby and Drake had some issues after the interview was released. That interview was Bobby's most viewed interview, which ended up getting deleted. We never really got to know the reason why that interview was deleted. Obviously, there was rumors going around saying Bobby and Drake slept together, which caused her to divorce. For all we know, that still remains a mystery.
At the end of the day, she was good, and I'm going to miss her, and I'm gonna miss. I will miss doing this podcast, and I will miss the money this podcast brought me. As you guys know, this podcast started off just with a girl with a dream to make more money, and I knew when I started that it was gonna go places. I didn't know I would fall off as quickly as I did. To be honest, I did think this was gonna last a bit longer. But nevertheless, it lasted a minute, and I'm proud of the accomplishments I have, and I'm pretty sad that it has to end like this, but it's okay. Things in life happened. Everything in life happens for a reason, or mostly everything. Kind of not everything. Some things happen in life.
Wait, what happened? This is cringe? What happened? What's bad? That sounded like a Jay-Z line. Allow me allow me to relieve myself. My name is... Hell no. Left us to have Drake whisper words in my ear. Is Bobby quitting? Bobby already quit. Woman, she's what? So okay, so give me a short TLDR. I don't want to. Y'all don't seem happy because I don't know what this was about. Just say Drake backstabs DJ Academics and Maul after giving Bobby Altoff another video. I don't know why Bobby got a lot of hate. I liked Bobby. I liked her. She was cool to me. I think with a little development, she would have been straight. I don't know why she's quitting. Maybe she just don't want to do it. It seemed like she got thrusted into the spotlight anyway. So she probably didn't want to do that shit. Wait. Oh, okay. I'm not that Jasmine and Gavin is 50 minutes. I don't think I have that in me. Do y'all wanna? Okay, I'm gonna let y'all decide. It's only 9 of y'all in here, man. Just vote for me. Just vote for me. We gonna do Destiny. Destiny debating Trumpers. Wait. Or streamer unalived on stream, which was ABBA and Preach coverage. Yeah, bro. I don't like people use industry plant way too loosely, and I don't like that. Like you said, it's like you get a big pop, and it's like, oh, you're a plant. It's like, bro, it's just motherfucker just got a pop, bro. It's not like everybody's not a plant. You're right. I absolutely don't like that shit. And I just realized Stream Elements is not popping up a lot. Destiny, to be specific, is Destiny versus 5 people, I guess, with the allotted time, and it's Destiny versus 5, and the topic is Trump's tariffs have been a disaster, to be clear. Okay. How exactly would someone be an industry plant on YouTube? Fair. I mean, TJ, there is money to be made on YouTube, but you can't push a button on YouTube necessarily. Like the way the music, I get what you're saying. The way the music industry works is different. Like you could put the money out. You could spend the money to get the music put everywhere. But you're right. YouTube, you can't be like, yeah, this person gonna pop on YouTube and just know it's gonna work. You can't do that. You're right. You can't just put somebody as a podcast and they work, and then it's like they popped off and now they're industry plant. Like, yeah, I personally, what I think people call industry plant is misguided. I'm not saying they don't exist whatsoever. I just don't know. I don't know. A plant don't always have to be successful. Like Milli and Vanilli. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's a lot of luck, bro. So it's just like Milli and Vanilli. I think they were a plant and they worked and then they got outed. It's just like, I don't think plants are necessarily guaranteed to do well. That's the thing. When people pop out of nowhere, according to their radar, they call them a plant, but it's like they probably was putting in hard work and then you found out about them when they popped off, and now you calling them a plant, which is unfair. Or there's somebody that just got lucky. Like, I think Bobby just got lucky. I don't think she was like Funny Marco, but it was just a white girl, and that's interesting. A white girl being like a Funny Marco to rappers, that's not like unreasonable to think that people would be drawn to watch. How is Hawk Tua a plant when we saw her just go viral for what she said, though? Like, when you say, like, I don't even think she's a plant. She wasn't picked randomly. She, like, got popular, and then it was like, oh, let's get her because she's popular, and it didn't work. She don't have a personality to carry a career. So, yeah, she got lucky. She just popped, and that motherfucker, I don't think you do something, get popular, and then people try to grab you up. I don't think that's a plant. I think a plant is somebody that nobody heard of. It just gets picked out of a lot of people. Hey, grab this person. I don't care what they're capable of. We're going to make them do whatever we need them to do, and they try to make a career out of that. I think that's what a plant is. A plant isn't somebody that gets lucky off something, and then people want to work with them because they popped off. I don't think that's a plant. It's like therapy, speech. People hear nice words and want to attach to everything, thinking it makes them sound smarter or not like the others. Is that in relation to the plant thing? Yeah, I like I said, I think people want to attach themselves to people that people like. I think that's a big thing. Where y'all at? Man, this poll 50-50, bro. Damn, everybody, it's the numbers. The numbers of the poll match the number of people watching, apparently. I got 8 votes and 8 viewers. Oh, shit. I don't want to vote. Damn, bro. Did anybody not vote, please vote. You are the tiebreaker. If you did not vote and you are in the chat, please vote. Make sure you leave a like, too, on the stream. We need the stream like. We need the like. I don't know what kind of accent I'm doing, y'all. Sorry. Damn. Okay. We're just gonna do ABBA and Preach with the streamer on a live in real time because it's shorter. And I'm probably gonna edit that Candace video tonight to have that shit up tomorrow because I can't believe this woman. You gotta watch both. The thing is, Destiny's video is 42 minutes. I don't know if I have the bandwidth. I'll see how I feel at the end of this. But I appreciate you saying we gotta do both. I appreciate you. You gonna be here for both? You gonna be here for both? This is 20 minutes and that was 4, but I'm probably finna speed this up though. Hawk Tua has 0 notable skills. It wasn't her platform. Then she popped up with a production company 3 years later. I worked closer around some. Well, but again, random, this all came after her saying Hawk Tua in a video of somebody else's. Like, that's not a plant. A plant is somebody that's just completely random and we don't know where they came from and they get like noticed. Hawk Tua just said something funny and then people wanted to work with her. I don't think that's a plant. She was a plant. Bobby wasn't a plant because she had a platform that actually performed on its own. I don't think that's a plant, bro. I think those are 2 different things. I think that's just people trying to attach themselves to something that's popping versus somebody that the industry that execs scout out to grab randomly and put them in front of people versus somebody just got lucky and did or said something and got popularity from it. I think that's different.
Jean Pormanov, a streamer in France. And since both me and Preach, on parle français, donc pour cette raison-là, we have the opportunity to watch a lot of videos in their native language, translate for you guys, give you guys maybe some additional context that might be lost in translation. Jean Pormanov is 46. He passed away just a few days ago during a live stream on Kick during a 10-day marathon. You can see the clip of him being woken up and he's just unresponsive.
Him being woken up and he's unresponsive. That doesn't work.
It's gotten international. Police have been involved. The platforms are apologizing. Drake and Ross are trying to pay for this guy's funeral. He was one of the top gaming streamers on Kick for France. So it goes to show this wasn't a small creator. Now, what happened exactly? He was tortured, beaten for money, and eventually died as a result of a lot of this.
Damn!
He clips himself, because if you've never watched the streams like I never did before, watching them is incredibly graphic. I can't show you most of them. I'm gonna have to narrate some of them, show you stills, because like you just can't play this in public. You're watching a man being beaten. You watch him at one point being grabbed by the neck.
And this all was being streamed on Kick. What the fuck? Like, where is Kick gonna draw the fucking line, bro?
And they do something.
Suffocated, being insulted.
Shot with paintball guns at close range. Multiple people ganging up.
I don't want to be shot with a paintball gun at far range. When I paintball, I said I'm only gonna do that shit in the fall where I could wear layers. I'm not paintballing if it's not fall. Period. I need layers.
Beating on him, and they do this thing which they say this in French. I'm gonna play a clip for you for this one. So if you don't understand what this is, nouveau record de saisie de thyroïde à 1 minute et 8 secondes par 3 cheveux. So saisie de thyroïde, you know what that is?
Shut up, what? It's strangulation.
That's it.
That's just what it is. The nouveau record, that's a new record, so that means that they're trying to establish records. 1 minute and 8 par 3 cheveux.
Yeah, and
by 3 hair.
You can hear him screaming in the back. You can hear him gasping for air, trying to tell him to stop. They don't care. They beat him on it. They're ganging up on him as a group. And the record goes up to like 2 minutes. They have multiple different occasions where they keep trying to up the ante and trying to suffocate him for longer. Maybe you guys can hear some audio, but I don't know if I can even show the visual.
You can't play that.
You could probably hear. No, listen. There's another visual here. You can see multiple people grabbing him, holding him down, and then grabbing his thyroid. For those asking, like, why is this guy staying around? There's a few reasons, but you can kind of just tell he's slow.
Yes, he's not.
He is clearly slow. He's a 46-year-old man hanging with people half his age. You can tell he's slow. You listen to him speak. I know you guys don't speak French. As someone who does, like, you can tell the man's not all up there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I could probably coerce quite a lot of people who are a little bit slower to do a lot of.
Yeah, bro. That audio was first of all, it was loud. It shocked the hell out of me. But yeah, that sounds crazy.
Things that don't make sense. And you have to understand, they've broken this guy down for a long time. There's a couple clips that are really telling.
Non, je veux pas, je le souhaite pas du tout. C'est pas un truc que t'avais pas envie du tout. Mais imagine un jour dans le délire, on est en train de rigoler et tout, et il clappe.
If I'm narrating this, essentially saying like, listen, you know, we're all laughing and we're enjoying stuff. What happens if, like, while we're all enjoying stuff, he dies? That's what they're talking right in front of him.
Yeah.
Like, how is that ever a topic of discussion? How can you be so entrenched in this content that you like, damn, what if what we do might make somebody die? Like, fuck. I wonder how old these guys around him are. He said he's hanging with people half his age, but I'm wondering if they're like 21 or like 28. Like, and it don't sound like a big difference, but your mind is very different in 21 and 28.
Yes.
And so you really have to understand the psychology of someone listening to other people discuss.
Talk about you on the third person,
you
like you're not there.
Tu sais que je me suis déjà posé la question en plein live.
They look they probably mid-20s. They probably 25.
And the other guy says, I've already asked myself the question. Je me suis déjà posé la question.
Ouais. On est mort.
Why, this shit loud, y'all. I'm sorry. Is this too loud for y'all? When they go to these videos, this is loud.
Pour que... Ah non, à moins qu'ils fassent caméra là maintenant.
And then he says, if that happens, well, then we're done. We're toast. And he says, no, not unless he looks at the camera right now. And let's do this next part.
Que si demain il meurt en plein live, c'est dû à son état de santé de merde, pas? Non.
Unless he looks at the camera right now and says, if I die tomorrow, it's because my health is shit and it's not because of these guys. So
What? This is insane. Why are you having a conversation about him dying on stream? That's crazy as hell. Why would you even want to broach the idea of somebody dying? Like, how is this an open discussion? I don't know what Jackass did as far as what they signed of being liable for, but I'm guessing somebody said that whatever y'all do, you ain't gonna die from it, I guess. But I do remember them like falling in a porta potty with shit in it. I don't know if that was gonna kill somebody, but yeah.
Right now, they're already asking him, as if it's almost premeditated, to make an excuse for why they're not guilty of his death. I'm going to come back to this clip a little bit later, but I just want to give you guys a timeline real fast before we come back to it. Believe it or not, even though this is a big controversy right now, this started well over almost a year ago in late 2024. Paul Manœuvre, humiliation stream. In December, French investigative outlet Mediapart published an expose alleging that Kick had for months permitted live.
That too, why it's like the people watching, what was their reception? Like, apparently they liked to seeing the torture stuff because that's why they was doing it. Like I'm watching Abba and Preach, but I heard about this prior, and like what they do is torture him on stream, and people pay them. I guess they was messing with him, but it's just like, well, if he dies, then you done, right? Excuse me. Wouldn't it make sense to do stuff that's not gonna put him on a verge of death, even if you are this fucking sick? To just harm him for money?
Broadcast of violent abuse, French authorities took notice. The Nice prosecutor's office, that's Nice is a city in France, quietly opened a judicial inquiry at the time into the deliberate violent acts being streamed online. Paul Manœuvre himself, real name Raphaël Gravin, and Safiane Hamadi were taken into custody for questioning as part of the investigation. Though both denied wrongdoing and claimed the content was staged, they were released without charge. From there, the police apparently continued the investigation, but no charges were laid. Early to mid-2025, despite the inquiry, Paul Manœuvre continued streaming extreme content on Kick. He and his collaborators maintained that the violent antics were consensual showmanship, and no immediate legal action stopped the broadcast. During this period, Paul Manœuvre was regularly seen on stream being tortured, humiliated, and beaten. The situation did not gain broad public...
Wait, that was fast.
Maintained that the violent regularly seen on...
Put in the chokehold.
On stream being tortured, humiliated...
Guy joins to block his nose. What the fuck, bro? What? Fam, it's like it almost feels like they living out like a murder fantasy or something. Like, how do you get to, I don't get how you get to that point unless you like homicidal. I don't get it.
And beaten. The situation did not gain broad public attention yet, and Kick's moderation still did not intervene to shut down what it saw. In fact, they did the opposite. They promoted these streams. This was something that they publicly endorsed. In fact, in some of the streams, you can even see a giant logo.
This makes me feel like Kick shouldn't exist because there's no incentive if Kick doesn't endorse this, like, or let it
the back as everyone's getting paid to do this stuff. Fast forward to August 10th to the 18th, 2025, which is last week, and it's the final stream. Paul Manœuvre began a planned 10-day live stream endurance marathon on Kick, co-hosted by Owens.
You can tell Preach hella bothered by this. He is hella bothered.
Senazandotti and Safiane Hamadi. As the days wore on, the stream devolved into a horrific spectacle. Paul Manœuvre was subject to extreme sleep deprivation, physical and verbal beatings, forced consumption of unknown toxic substances. Viewers later described him deteriorate on camera at times, disoriented or in visible distress. In the final hours of the marathon, Paul Manœuvre became unresponsive on stream. Clips on social media showed that co-hosts attempted to rouse him, but he did not wake up. Emergency services were called.
They threw water on him and he didn't wake up. Fuck. I hit that volume.
Dead on the scene, but he did not wake up. Emergency services were called. He was declared dead on the scene. August 19th, which is the next day, French authorities moved swiftly once the death became known. The Nice prosecutor's office announced a full judicial investigation into the circumstances of Paul Manœuvre's death. An autopsy was ordered to determine the exact cause of death. Police also seized recording equipment, video footage from the home as evidence. Investigators revealed that witnesses were interviewed. Notably, the associates claimed the violence was part of an act or staged, an assertion authorities viewed with skepticism. By August 20th, the case had exploded with the public eye, with graphic clips from the stream circulating widely on social media, fueling public outrage. Official responses: the French government publicly condemned the incident. Clara Chapaz, France Minister Delegate for Digital Affairs, called Paul Manœuvre's death and she suffered an absolute horror. She announced that she had referred the matter to Arcom, France's media platform for online illegal content. Chapaz stressed that online platforms have a legal duty to curb illicit content. Quote, the responsibility of online platforms regarding the dissemination of illegal content is not optional. It is the law. This type of failure has no place in France, Europe, or anywhere else. Kick's reaction. In response to Führer, Führer.
Yeah, I need to see what Kick said.
Kick, the Australian-based streaming platform Action, issued a public statement of condolences and promised action. We are deeply saddened by the loss of Jean-Paul Manœuvre and extend our condolences to his family, friends, and community. Now, a lot of this feels like bullshit because they were promoting him the whole time. There was somebody, Kick needs to get the fuck out of here because there's nothing.
some people getting money. Yeah, cool. They could get that money on YouTube or Twitch. I mean, I don't know if they're engaging in shit like this. No, you can't. But you shouldn't base your money off of fucking torturing people. You shouldn't base your money off of gambling. That shouldn't be your sole way of getting money. You shouldn't get your money off of bullying people on the street. You shouldn't get your money off of faking predator beatings and stuff like that. Like faking them. So it's just like Kick is just promoting the worst type of behavior. They're letting it fester on there. And then the people that want to engage in it can go there and get money for engaging in that behavior. So either Kick needs to really act like they care about existing as a platform, because you missed a lot, Roshan. Damn, but I appreciate you for coming off work. I appreciate you, Roshan. But there's no way Kick can continue to exist in this capacity letting this type of shit happen. Like, it's just absolutely no way that should be acceptable.
Investigations, it was on the front page, they just didn't care. Their moderation didn't really care because he brought in views. Now we're going back to the clip that we played before, where you can kind of see this is very premeditated.
Non. Comme ça, non, du tout. Comme ça, non. Je fais rien du tout. Comme ça, non. Regarde la caméra, dis.
Like, what do you mean, though?
Because the guy says, no, I'm not doing that.
What do you mean, though?
And now you tell him, look at the camera.
Yeah, you have to look at the camera and say that. Okay. No, I'm not doing that.
Les gens, ils vont s'en prendre à nous, alors que c'est dû à tes 46 ans de vie minable.
Right, why? It's like, yeah, like, eat a fucking hot chip, bro. Like, just do a 24-hour stream, not torture yourself for 24 hours. Like, I don't know, like, balance a spoon on your finger while you stream. Something like, this is insane. Oh my God. And then it makes it worse. But I don't know if you remember, they said he might not be fully there mentally. So he might have a disability and they're just taking advantage of him.
So the people are no, say it, because if I'm yelling at you and you broke, people are gonna go against us, but it's because of your shit health. It's not us.
So look at the camera and give us an out. What you guys are watching right now is
coercion.
Premeditated.
Yeah, it's so weird because I don't know what they're saying, so I can't really, I can't have a full understanding of what's happening.
These are people that know he has a health issue. They don't care. They're going to use him for entertainment, and when he dies, they want him to give them an out.
Yo.
Mais imagine ça arrive pendant un moment où Armand le fait chier.
That's insane. They knew they like literally planning like he might die. They're ready for it. They need to be held liable for fucking, I don't know what type of murder it is, but they're talking about the possibility of him dying and he dies.
Pendant une thyroïde. Et je le fais, il meurt.
Parce que c'est aléatoire.
Il meurt dans mes mains.
Tu sais, ça peut arriver à n'importe quel moment. Imagine, ça finit une thyroïde et t'as un.
Like, there's no world where talking about the possible death of anyone should be happening on their stream for entertainment, unless you're talking about like if we fucking skydive or something goes wrong. There's no reason. Even then, it might sound like you planned it. Like, damn.
So all this is them just trying to coerce him into.
Yeah, why? That's what I'm saying. Like, we would have so much more understanding if we knew the language, like the tonality of them and the exact words used. I wish we could.
You doing this because like it's not our fault if you just die. Just because someone's strangling you, that's kind of random. Aléatoire.
Yeah, aléatoire.
If you die while we're strangling you, that's random.
The thyroid thing, you know, it's just I'm choking you, but it's random.
Au moins, tu vois, on aura ce clip.
I hope they're translating this to the best, you know, to as much as possible, because that's crazy. If we strangle you and you die, it's just random. What?
On peut se dire.
C'est qu'il a raison, mais ça peut être un homicide involontaire.
Ouais, alors que pas du tout, alors que c'est ton état de santé qui est minable.
They know that
they even call it.
He said it might be an involuntary manslaughter. He's like,
no, it's really your shit.
Wow.
Ouais, les gars, je suis vieux, hein, on sait jamais. Non, mais dis-le bien, face cam. Ah, mais je suis sûr, me dis rien, hein. Je te fais pas crever, hein. Mais je crois que j'ai envie de te tuer. Non, ok, on sait jamais.
He goes like, you want me to say it? And the guy's like, what, do you think I'm going to kill you or something? He's like, and the victim who ends up dying says, you never know. A couple days later. That's how twisted this shit is. But that's how dark. Because they're all going, well, you know, if I die on stream, it's my responsibility.
Bah, c'est mon entière responsabilité.
They're all saying what they want him to say.
Moi, les gars, si je meurs en live.
But they're not getting beat on stream, though. So what the fuck does that mean to y'all to say what y'all want him to... I don't know if I could take this. This is, oh my God.
c'est mon entière responsabilité.
Moi, si je me relève, c'est ma totale responsabilité.
Knowing damn well they abuse him only.
Bon, s'il m'arrive quelque chose en live, que ça vient pas d'eux.
Clipez.
Que ça vient pas d'eux.
Ça vient pas de
You know French Bunny?
Pas d'eux. So he's not only saying, okay, I'm gonna say it, but you feel the pressure right now.
Yeah.
If I die and laugh because these motherfuckers are abusing me, and it's not from them. So whatever, there's something that happened, and then I'm on myself, and nothing happened, and I die, then it's good. But I'm not gonna admit that it's not gonna come from you because I'm under a lot of stress. That's what he says, and that's very important.
Yeah. Even here, you can see it. They don't actually care for this man's well-being. Time. There's a clip here, and I can play this one thankfully because it's not physical.
Comment bien, ta vie, c'est la défaite. Il le tue. Mon gars, ta vie, c'est la défaite. On a fait 6 mois, allez, 4-5 mois à Malte. T'es sorti 18 jours d'affilée, frère. 50 jours d'affilée. Inventez un chiffre.
And don't it make it so much worse that they have a fucking kick stencil on the fucking back? Like they literally have kick on their wall. It just makes it so much worse. It's like, yeah, this is who we getting paid from while we kill our fucking co-streamer.
Ouais, non, mais t'es 18 jours. T'es sorti 17 jours d'affilée. T'as même pas de stress. Tes lèvres, elles ont même pas effleuré les lèvres d'une autre meuf. T'as dépensé mais des milliers d'euros. Frérot, tous les soirs, tu prenais des danseuses. Non, pas tous les soirs. Quand à ma période à moi, quand il était pas là, voilà, tous les soirs t'en prenais une et carrément.
We ain't getting inflections, but we see a lot of emotion right here. We can read emotions. We can read that emotion. He is getting way too irate. And they threw something at him.
I'm playing the clip even though you guys can't understand, just so you can feel the energy. But essentially, they're lambasting him for like going out and not having success with women. That's something that he's always wanted, never had, and they're making fun.
And to think that's what he's yelling at him about, and he's clearly not mentally there fully, and they're yelling at him about not getting women.
Even though you have money, you go out, you're fucking.
Oh no, Bunny! I know that they're fluent. Like I know that I think French is both of their first language, I believe. But I was just saying, like when you. Just because they're translating don't mean they are doing. I know they understand it, but that don't mean necessarily word for word. That's why I was like, I hope they doing it to the best that they could.
Looser. The way they're breaking him down mentally, making him feel lesser than, making her feel like a total piece. Guy's already a bit slow, socially stunted. Now you get all this social adulation. They control a lot of this stuff. That's how it plays into the whole control aspect, okay? And at one point, he tries fighting back. Like, he doesn't always just take it. This is him saying, I've had enough. You guys call me all these things. You treat me like garbage. So you can see, like, there's some real panic inside of him.
These relationship like that, it's like, this is what you see on live and everything. And you wonder, why is he still there? Because of everything that happens after the live. Sorry, but that these people, they like you. The same way he's talking to them, is bullshit that he's doing.
Yeah, that's how manipulators operate. Like, you'll see something on camera and then you'll be like, well, how do they stay after that? And then it'd be all the lovey-dovey stuff behind the scenes where like, man, we love you, we just getting this money and blah, blah, blah. He probably was making good money and they like, we just doing all this for the camera. We fuck with you. You our mans. You the star of the show. You getting paid the most. Like, they probably doing all that shit off camera. And he like, shit, we making money. We gonna keep doing this.
And the people are paying, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that later.
Yep.
Because people are paying.
Yep.
He's doing all that, but to keep him there, that's like a beaten wife.
Yep.
The keeping them is always like, no, but they like you. And the money's good and this, that. The coercion is not just what they did there with, hey, let us say. It goes on. It's not just in one instant. It's for him to stay there. You best believe there was coercion. There's always talk in his head. There's always that.
Yeah, I've seen this in the military. I've seen the slow person in the military get taken advantage of.
100%.
Thankfully, the people who did it got taken care of eventually because they did it really too openly. But like when you're in these kind of social environments, it's probably even a lot worse in this, or maybe for different reasons, but it's like you have the social adulation. For him, he's probably never seen this kind of money in his life before. He's never had attention because he's always been an irrelevant person, and now he has it, and these guys control it. Like, you can understand the kind of pressures he's under. Let's watch this.
Décolle, tu veux tricher? Tu veux tricher? Je te dis, putain, j'ai des médicaments. Je te dis, prends le bonbon. Non, j'ai des médicaments à prendre. J'ai des médicaments à prendre. Je vais pas prendre d'autres médicaments. Il y a un petit truc rouge sur ton truc de médicaments de merde.
They're making him take some kind of medication.
It's like it's candies. It's sugar candy.
Yeah.
They gaslighting him.
Yep.
They're coercing him. No, it's just sugar shit.
Yeah, Bunny. If you got like any info on that, send it to me. I wanna look into that. That's interesting.
Yeah. It's just sugar stuff. Yo, there's a red thing on those the pill case that you're giving me.
I'd be curious to see what the toxicology report says because it sounds like these guys might have been using some weird kind of drugs on him.
J'ai fait la bouger, il est parti.
This man got the Naruto cosplay while hurting his co-streamer.
Il a quitté là pour rien, c'est lui qui sabote. On lui a rien dit, il m'a rien fait. Il sabote, je sais pas, il fait le malin, il est parti. Je veux que tu récupères les clés de l'appartement, de la voiture, qui paye le loyer qui manque, et il peut partir.
So here, they're playing a clip where he said he didn't want to do one of the challenges, and so they're saying we're going to lock him out, we're going to take his car, we're going to lock him out of his own place. Just to show you, if he doesn't participate, the kind of consequences he faces. This next clip, this was taken 4 days before, and I'm going to translate because word for word is important. Go ahead.
Maman, comment tu vas? Coincé pour un moment avec son jeu de mort.
So he's reading now text that the victim sent to his mother. And he's reading the text that the victim sent to his mother, and the text says, "Hello, Mom, how are you? I'm kind of stuck in this death game." Now, when I read jeu de mort, when I heard that, I couldn't believe what it was because I'm like, I must mean something different. It's just death game. And I think they're doing dangerous games, and he's like, I'm stuck here, I can't. Now keep listening. His mom texts back.
Je te regarderai ce soir. Je pense que là, ça va trop loin, il a dit.
His mom saying, I think now you guys this is going way too far, because she said she was watching this.
How does Abba know what his mom is saying? Because all we hear is him responding, right? So how do we know what mom is saying? I'm curious.
J'ai l'impression d'être séquestré avec leur concept de merde. Wow. Oui, c'est bon, on m'est marre, je ne veux me barrer.
Oh, dude reading text. Okay, never mind. Dude is reading text. Okay.
Autre, il veut pas, il me séquestre.
He says, I want to leave, but they won't let me. I feel like I'm being held hostage by what's happening here.
Oh, wow. Ils ont pas de respect. Tu as maigri, tu es fatigué.
So his mom, I can see you, they don't respect you. You've gotten thinner and you look exhausted. It's not good. So she's noticing his deterioration. They're reading her text and laughing.
Ouais, il a grossi, ouais. Moi, regarde-moi. T'as jamais eu une meilleure mine que ça, fils de pute.
So he, now you can translate.
Gaslight. Hey, look at me. Yeah, you never look better, you son of a bitch.
So I just wanted to play this clip to just see, like, there's even instances where he texts his mom, I'm being held here. And this is 4 days.
That's a cry for help. That's what you call that.
This is the general context. Again, I can't show you guys the video of the beating.
That part, TJ, like that part, like this is definitely probably not supposed to be. Clearly, it's not supposed to be read out loud. He's telling his mom he think he's gonna die.
Like at one point, one guy's got boxing gloves and he's just ribbing him the shit out. Like, especially a guy that age with his physical stature, you could bust his bones easy. He's been injured numerous times during these things. Now, I'm gonna just go through the list of stuff that from all the videos I've seen them do to him. There's been beatings and slap, freaking physical strikes to his face, strangulations, bag overhead. They've definitely done the asphyxiation like that. Electric shocks, like by dog collar, boxing glove beatings, exploding cigarettes, paintball firing, the sleep deprivation that we talked.
Bro, what? What happened to like what I said, eating hot chips, bro? Like, I don't know, putting a bunch of ice cubes in your mouth, getting a brain freeze. The world's hottest pepper. I don't know. Like, what the... I'm speechless.
Talked about the brutal wake-ups. They sometimes just dump cold water on him live on stream. They've desecrated his personal items. His glasses have been stolen from him and broken.
You need to see, like, you don't play with people's glasses. Like, as a nigga that's blind as fuck, I can't function if I don't have my contacts or glasses. It's not like, oh, I can't see that well. Like, no, I have to sit in one room all day if you're going to take my contacts or glasses from me. I don't know if that's his situation, but I'm sure they probably don't even give a fuck how bad his vision is. Like, I cannot survive a day doing things productively without my glasses or contacts. Like, it's just not possible. I can't do anything. I'm useless. Fuck.
Some of these are weird. Made to brush someone else's teeth with a brush contaminated with urine.
What? Bro.
Made to clean toilets after someone else's waste. Someone shat in there.
I understood.
Cross-dressing in public shaming, forced to wear wigs, feminine attire, and paraded with obscene signage. Pipe gratis fellatio. Pipe gratis. Yeah, that basically means, you know, if you want to fuck me, it's free. These are interesting.
Wait,
ones.
what? Wait.
Forced to wear wigs.
Pete. Cross-dressing, forcing with feminine attire, paraded with obscene signage. Pipe gratis. Oh, so he dressed as a woman and wore signs that said he was basically a prostitute. PD scrawled on his forehead a homophobic slur painted or written on him. Coerced statements forced to lie on camera saying the abuse was just a game.
Wigs, feminine attire, and paraded with obscene signage. Pipe gratis fellatio. Pipe gratis. Yeah, that basically means, you know, if you want to fuck me, it's free. These are interesting ones. These are like parts of the coercion that we noticed down.
Not a prostitute. It's free.
There's like nicotine manipulation. Cigarettes were used as a reward for compliance and punished for refusal.
Hey, imagine that. A cigarette is a reward. God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Now, if you don't know, French culture is just synonymous with smoking. I think the highest.
Adult smoking prevalence in France, 15 and up, 31%. I don't know what it's like. I don't know what it is in America, but shit, I wouldn't even be. It wouldn't even surprise me if you told me 30% of Americans smoke cigarettes. That wouldn't shock me at all. Oh, men. I wonder what this number is. Like Americans versus men versus women.
Rates of like cigarette smoke.
Oh, adult smoking prevalence in France is 29. Okay. So I wonder what it is in America. That wouldn't shock me if you told me 29% of Americans smoke cigarettes. That wouldn't shock me.
You gotta be in France. Essentially, they would take away cigarettes, and then if you wouldn't complete acts, you wouldn't get access to them. And everyone with like a nicotine addiction can imagine how.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
Sometimes they would force him to beat somebody up to then therefore justify when they go and beat him up. So a lot of like little mind games that they would play throughout. Anyways,
that is sociopath.
Yeah,
there's not just things that he.
How you get in a room with 3 to 4 people that's willing to let you die on stream for money, bro? It's one thing if it was him and one other person. I be like I watched a lot of like murder mystery type stuff before. I did a little stint on YouTube where I was like. It was too dark. I got to a point I had to stop. Like I was watching a lot of the whole murder mystery stuff, like the stories that you don't, not the big ones that you know about. And the ones that always was the most shocking to me was when somebody found one person or a few other people that was willing to engage in some crazy ass behavior with them. That's the most intriguing part of all this, because for one, they're not the majority, and then you gotta be in the same country as them, you gotta be in the same state, then you gotta be in the same city more than likely. So it's just when people find people to engage in this like crazy homicidal abusive just abhorrent behavior, that's so mind-boggling to me. There's no point on earth where somebody could ever convince me to engage in this type of behavior for money, and not for money, because some people do that shit because they can. But it's just, I don't get it.
Would do is that people would actually pay for those things to happen. And the platform encouraged that. Why? Because people.
And then paying to see it too. Them gotta be kids, bro. And I'm not saying that excuses it, but there's got to that their audience had to be at minimum 70% children that will send money for that. I don't know how they doing it. Maybe they're on their parents' account, but it ain't mostly adults watching y'all torture a man and paying y'all to do it, man. Nah.
If you're wondering about the perpetrators, they've come out and made tributes to him. They've also denied any wrongdoing. I'm not even going to play that stuff because it's fucking disgusting. I even said with Kick, like when you have a platform which profits from degeneracy, there is no bottom. I think I jokingly said at one point, like, someone's going to get torture on camera, we're going to pay for it. The cyberpunk future that I mentioned is like, it's here.
It's not future.
It was happening the whole time. I just didn't know because I don't spend time on degenerate platforms. People are already getting paid for this stuff. There was one guy on Kick, he paid a prostitute to come over, banged her in front of her kid. Never got banned. It's like, what are we talking about? And the governments have to get involved. Yeah. They have to get involved. There has to be penalties allotted to these platforms. Otherwise, no one's going to punish them. Who's going to punish them? Degenerates are not going to punish them. If the law's not going to punish them, who will? They can't be sued. They live in foreign countries with laws that protect them from a lot of this shit. So if governments are not involved, I don't know what you guys are expecting is going to happen.
This is the people that we know about. Because we don't go on these platforms to just search for degeneracy. I'm pretty sure these are not the only people, especially on that platform. They allow it.
They profit from it.
They profit from it on top of that.
They promote it.
That's a big thing because now you have a mother that lost her son. Ooh, I hope something happens to these boys.
Yeah. Kick got to answer for this. Like, I'm sorry. Like, yes, they didn't do it themselves, but they allowed this type of behavior to exist on their platform. Something got to happen.
I really hope something happens. I hope it's good that the police is in there.
Like something has to happen.
Authorities are in there.
Kick this is just cannot go unspoken on after this point. Kick needs to either go or stop letting this shit happen. That's crazy, bro.
And Kick, there's something that needs to happen on Kick.
Yeah, I mean, Europe is generally a lot better than North America and other parts of the world about going after these bigger companies. So I'm hopeful that they will. But beyond that, man, yeah, these guys are absolutely guilty in my opinion. I think this was premeditated. Not that they intended this, but that they were criminally negligent.
Oh, there's a lot of negligence.
And there's an obvious...
He's probably being generous, but yeah, yes, you can't prove it was intentional. You can't. But the conversation about if somebody dies, that's just, to me, like he said, it's definitely, to me, it's a little bit, it's more than like first degree murder, and I mean, I'm sorry. It's less than first degree murder, but it's more than negligent. Like we're in between like manslaughter or negligence, wrongful death, and first degree murder. To me, this is like a second, I don't know what the rules is in France, but like there was some understanding that this man might die from what they're doing because he died. Like that didn't have to happen. I wouldn't call it assisted at all. He didn't want it. He was scared. He didn't want that to happen. Shit, I keep hitting the fucking mute.
They were criminally negligent.
Oh, there's a lot of negligence.
And there's an obvious sense of like they know how dangerous what he was, because why else would they ask him to make that shit on camera? And that video, that clip we played, I promise you that's going to court.
This needs, and what happens in court, I really hope it needs.
Yeah, I would think it's more. I mean, I think second is hard to prove though in America too in this circumstance. I think second would be hard. They probably, I don't know what France, laws are, but in America, you would probably be better off with a manslaughter. You'll probably get the manslaughter. Second degree, I think, would even be hard to prove. Because didn't Derek Chauvin get second, or did he get third degree murder?
I remember back in my days, there was Warrior Sites and SnuffX. It's like if I put that on a platform and be like, it's just for free.
And there's ad dollars.
And ad dollars to that. So every time you submit a clip that is crazy, people are getting tortured, you're going to get money. That is crazy.
Yeah, but hey, listen, I'm curious what you guys think. But yeah, this was a fucked up one. And then, especially because we speak French.
Oh, yeah.
When you understand what they're saying and the tone they're saying it with, like, there's a little extra hint of evil. Because you can tell these people don't give a flying fuck about it. Like, it is very obvious. So, yeah.
And I'm glad he made it a point to say that, because that's the thing. We can't fully understand the emotion behind how these people talking because we don't know the language.
For you? No. All right, well, that's it from us for today.
We have a minion for a governor.
Bro. That shit deep, bro. That shit kind of fucked me up, man. That's fucked up. That's super fucked up, man. I can't even believe we got to that point. And I like Kick needs to either stop it. This is it. Kick needs to either stop letting this type of shit happen. They gotta really hammer down on what the fuck they TOS is and what they allow on their platform, or Kick needs to fucking go. I wouldn't give a fuck if Kick goes, because we've seen too many instances of Kick letting bullshit fly on their platform. It's fucking crazy, bro. But nonetheless, man, I had a fucking blast tonight, man, with y'all. Definitely had fun. I'm getting that Candace video up by tomorrow. I cannot believe she debunked herself. I'm dumbfounded. I'm speechless. Make sure y'all share the short of the video. Probably had a video up before the short. Probably get them up at the same time. Who knows? I'm excited to cut that shit tonight because Candace is fucking stupid. I can't believe her. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. But nonetheless, man, if you made it to this point in the stream, make sure to leave a like, comment, sub. If not one, then all three. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Peace.